evening once again. Welcome to the lovely, extraordinary Issues Room right here on Facebook and YouTube, and also on our Issues Room page. We come your way in three segments: Facebook, YouTube, and the Issues Room page. Again, if you just joining us, we want to welcome you to this 20th edition here with us in the Issues Room. The Issues Room is where we discuss the things that matter. This evening, we expected to have the senior senator of Montserrado County, or a senator of Montserrado County, because I don't even know the distinction between a senior and a junior. The Honorable Darius Dillon, Abraham Darius Dillon, who is affectionately known as the Light, is expected to join us momentarily. In the meantime, I'd like to welcome all of you, our viewers, wherever you are. Continue to chime in. Just let us know that you're here. Say I'm here. Welcome, Steve Ware. You're the first in studios with us, and so we want to recognize you. Again, if you're here, join us. Tonight's discussion will center around a lot of important things. The senator will be chiming in about good governance in the country. He'll look at the economy, the state of the economy, health, education, and so forth. But he'll also talk about his humanitarian work in the area of rehabilitation for our young people in the country. So again, welcome to the Issues Room. I'm still waiting to get a signal from his end. When you have to deal with Monrovia, Liberia, lately the internet service has been very, very, not too favorable. And oftentimes we have to go through this kind of circumstance. But hopefully we'll get him through. Again, we want to welcome Fatih Fambule. Uh, Hope you are here with us this evening. Uh, Minimin Ajua Joseph, welcome. Now, Fatih is asking that she doesn't get blocked. Why would you be asking that? Are you going to be, you know, uh, unprofessional? Would not encourage you to do that. Any kind of conversation here tonight should be as civil, as honest, with integrity, with respect, not just for you, but for the other viewers and listeners all over the world, and also our guests and ourselves as the host folks here tonight. So again, don't take any chance to be, um out of character. Try to stay poised and irrespective of what your views are, just remain as civil and professional. No profanity. We don't encourage that. Because again, this is not about you. It is about the image of the Issues Room. We're not your everyday uh, platform where people want to use profanity and so forth. We'll never encourage that. We'll encourage you to have dissenting views, put forth your opinion, but do it in a more honorable and civilized manner rather than go with using profanity and vulgarities. Will not encourage that. Again, we say welcome. Genevieve Pratt Brown, welcome. Um, the Issues Room is an alternative media platform. What we do is we bring the issues, and there's so many issues to discuss. Liberia is never shy of issues. Just the other day, a lady by the name of Patricia Colley, I believe the last name is Colley, but I know the first name is Patricia, who apparently was in a relationship with Patrick Tiaje, the senator of Sano County, Milton Tiaje's younger brother. Had taken to the media claiming that Mr. Milton Tiaje uh, did not want to give her a car that was sent back to Liberia because the car was her car. But the senator came, and made his points very clear. He had a press conference where he tried to, make sure that his side of the story was heard. And from what I gathered, he said that accordingly, his brother Patrick and this lady were fiancé. They were together for more than 4 years, and they decided to part ways. So they had three cars, and Patrick took um, one of the cars and left the rest of the cars with her, including furniture and everything, and went to get an apartment. But his apartment, rather not his apartment, but the weather changed, and the car in question is a BMW. Couldn't do well in the snow, so he decided to get something like a pickup truck or a Jeep. And so he decided that he would send the car to Liberia, ask his brother whether he would have interest in the car. And Milton Tier just said, "Yeah, sure, send the car." And according to Milton, he has some kind of immunity with the National Port Authority, where he's entitled to free 2 items per year. And so he used his, um, you know, um, privilege and got the car freed from the port and was using the car. And when Patricia went to Liberia, she went to get a car, and he made it clear to her that he'd better send the car. And she had gone to Arthur Johnson, who is one of the uh, probably most popular lawyers in the country, who then called Milton, who is also Milton's lawyer, and they all sat down. And Milton said that he called Patrick over the phone, who clarified that the car was not for Patricia. Instead, it was his car, and he clearly stated that Milton should not give the car to Patricia. If he wanted not to use the car, he could give it to another family member. And that's where everything, so judges, she went to the Supreme Court, she went to the criminal court, and they all subpoenaed Milton to go to the court. But utilizing his legislative privilege, again, he quoted Article 42 in the Constitution that said that once the uh, legislature is in session, uh, you cannot summon or subpoena the sitting legislator to a hearing. And so Milton has not been to court, and as it stands, he still has the car in question. But he went further to say that Patricia is a runaway from a mental health institution in Duluth, Minnesota. So that's one of the stories that came out, and everyone tried to jump on it. There's another story that came out today, but I haven't gotten the clear picture of it, so I will not endeavor to talk about it. But it has to do with some lawmaker uh, involved with some kind of accident, and a lady by the name of, I think, McCarvey or something, and they all were tussling at the legislature today. Um, but I'm not going to go into that conversation because I'm not very much ocarum with it, because I have not looked at the articles and videos coming out of there. But these are the things that continue to plague our country. Every day we wake up to something new in Liberia. Just the other day, I believe it was yesterday, we heard again that another man was found, or a person was found. It was not clear whether it was a female or male, but that person was found in the Sinker area, dead with body parts extracted. Again, another person. Uh, was it his family members that couldn't bury him and they threw him out there in the street, as stated by the government of Liberia, that some of the bodies that are found in the street are put there by citizens who are not financially capable to bury their family members. That's something else we need to look into. But this person was found. So Liberia is never, never, never out of something to talk about. I think Moses is now set and ready to go. So Moses Sandy.
Yes, sir. Man, look, electronics sometimes, yeah, man, it has been crazy at my end, but I'm happy to join you, Volcano. And so let me apologize to our many listeners that it has been a little bit of technical cliche in the background, but it's pleasing to be here with you this evening. I hope Senator Dillon will be able to join us for this broadcast tonight, so we can dive into some of these critical issues. It's always pleasing to team up with you, Volcano. That is the number one passion in our life, journalism. So it's good to be back tonight.
Yeah, I want to welcome Uzondu Isionyi. Thank you for coming in the issues room. Welcome to the show. We're asking a lot of folks to let us know you're here because sometimes if we don't know, then we cannot recognize you. Mercury Tisdale, thank you for coming in. Again, the issues room is our platform that comes on Tuesdays and Fridays. But we had to do a special edition because when we're dealing with high profile, guests, especially all the way in Liberia, because of the time zone, it's kind of difficult to get people up midnight, to be on the show. Um, the time change is another killer for us here, Moses.
Yeah.
So one of the things we're thinking about doing is if we were to interview or host guests from Africa,
Mm-hmm.
particularly West Africa, will try to probably do it on the weekend,
Yeah.
Saturday or Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
2 o'clock here in America, which would be at least 7 p.m. over there. Uh, you know, because it's kind of hard when we already have our show set for 7 p.m. and we'll be coming to switching and stuff. It provides confusion for our guests, and
Absolutely.
people get used to stuff. And even if you
7
send a
p.m.
promo and
Mm-hmm.
try to make them to understand that it's a special edition, sometimes they don't tune in. So we don't want to miss on that. So we'll try to make those adjustments when we are interviewing folks, out of our time zone.
Yeah. Yeah. Accommodating our colleagues, especially in Liberia, or our people specifically in Liberia, trying to work with them at the same time, also taking into consideration the importance of times of our people here in the United States or our people in other parts of the world. So we want to be very, very accommodating for everyone. So we're trying to work on a schedule that will be very accommodating for people in Africa and also people here in the United States and other parts of the diaspora. Before I came in, I heard you talking about what transpired today at the national legislature. And I
Yeah.
just wanted to share my thoughts a little bit on that
So
because
you were able to follow up and get some clarity.
yeah, I watched a segment of the video, and I also witnessed a segment of what they call the hearing at the legislature. This lady was taking, was taking the joint chambers of the legislature along with a gentleman who was identified as a husband, one Sharif. The lady in question, her reported name is McCanvey Sharif.
I did get that first name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
McCanvey Sharif.
Mhm.
And Volcano, when I watched the tape, it took me back to the discussion we had before regarding the rule of law in Liberia.
Okay.
Uh, from what I saw, the lady complained that the lawmaker for Grand Crew, I have forgotten the name, but the representative for Grand Crew County
Hmm.
reportedly hit her vehicle in the traffic.
Okay.
And according to her, the lawmaker did not even see the need to stop. He drove off. So
Okay.
that's what we call in the United States what? Hit and run, right? He drove for, he allegedly drove for, and her husband, and others in her vehicle decided to proceed, or to pursue him. So they followed to the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
So when they got there, out of anger, she pulled the lawmaker from the back and told that the lawmaker was dressed in business suit.
Hmm.
She pulled him from the back, and some physical altercation, transpired. Then uh, um, other individuals at the national legislature intervened. The sergeant, the national police, some officers from the LMP were called, and this lady was initially arrested with the instruction that she should be taken to a prison. But the prison authority did not detain her. She was sent back because they said what there was some kind of I think they needed some legal paperwork to be able to, detain her. So they brought her back to the Capitol building. She was taken to the joint session. Uh, the lawmakers reviewed the situation and they ruled that she be sent to prison along with her husband for 15 days
Okay.
for the
All right.
crime for the crime which she allegedly committed.
All right, Moses.
Yes.
The senator is here.
Okay.
Okay.
In fact,
All right.
the senator is here. He's going to help us have a better understanding of what really transpired today at the national legislature. So let's welcome the senator.
The Honorable Abraham Darius Dillon. I know how tough it is. I can see your eyelids kind of looking.
I know it's crazy, but those
Welcome,
senators are understandable.
welcome, my man. Listen, you the light, so the light cannot go in darkness without being shining. So you got to stay awake, my man. But it's good
Yeah,
to have you, Senator Dillon, for making the sacrifice tonight. And one of the things we talked about is to kind of adjust our time to these kinds of circumstances, and we were able to do that for an hour. And thank you so much for also understanding to make yourself available tonight. How you doing so far? Your mic is mute. You muted your mic on your end.
mute, Senator.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good.
As always, we give God the glory for each
Okay.
and every day. We are good in health, we believe.
Hmm.
We thank you for the invitation. I almost missed out on this appearance. I got
Okay.
caught up in small traffic, unexpected, but I'm here. When people give a word and people are expecting you to appear, you don't appear. Sometimes it's kind of a
Yeah, yeah, and we
yeah
really
setback.
appreciate it. We really
Mhm.
appreciate it. When you say small traffic, my man, you the honorable, and not to use your serene privilege. What happened? Other people using other privileges. Why you didn't use your serene
No,
privilege? Clear the road, clear the road. The
no.
senator coming.
No, everybody can do the same thing. I
Yeah.
never ever, even before I became senator,
Okay.
and I tried never to violate the traffic rule.
Yeah.
Even
Right.
as senator, I frown on the law that gave us right to an imaginary third lane that does not exist in the country.
Okay.
If I'm supposed to be to work 10 o'clock and I know there will always be traffic, I get up early to beat the traffic. In fact, one time it was so serious, I go on a motorbike.
Oh
I
wow.
left my car behind with the driver and go on a motorbike. Yeah, but we're using serene and beating traffic as if to say you alone. No, man, it's not easy. So, and I'm not
Thank you.
trying to play injury, but I don't do that.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. So
Yeah.
we decided to hold this conversation with you because so many things happen in the country. You are aware, and I will say you are in opposition, of course, because it's clear that you're from the Liberty Party. But
Sorry, but may I
ju-
ask which Facebook link you using?
The
the
issue
issue room,
room.
Or the issue room? Okay, yeah, let's
yeah,
go ahead. I want to
yeah,
You
share
want
on my
to
page.
share? Yeah. You want to share? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, the
yeah.
issues room,
So give me
yeah,
a second. Give me a second. Just give me a second. You guys can continue the
yeah.
conversation. Give me a second. Yeah,
Okay, I'll
I'll
put
go
you
in the
backstage
background.
and bring you back.
Sure.
Right.
All right. All
All
right.
right. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean that's one exception to the rule. When you
Hmm.
think about it, here's a sitting senator who uses
Yeah.
legislative
All the rights
privilege
they have. All the
to
rights they
put
have.
a
Yeah.
ring on like everybody else and make a turn lane when you don't even have shoulders, no median, no shoulders on the roads, and you're pushing people off the road with no regards for lives and properties. So I think that should also be commendable. Uh, he can stay in traffic and wait until everybody else, like everybody else, and get to his
Mhm.
destination. I
Yeah.
wasn't even sure when he told me he was in traffic whether he was going to make it. Yeah,
Okay.
in tonight. But he's a man of his word, and he's proven that.
Yeah,
Uh,
he did.
so he's
He
back.
did.
So let me
Yeah.
bring him in so we can kick the ball. So
Yeah.
so let me.
And
He,
just set the discussion into motion.
I know that you don't have a lot of time with us, but you promised 1 hour. So I'm looking at the time.
Yeah, so take the 1 hour from when I came in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm looking at the time. We started the conversation now. It's 6:21 p.m.
Yeah.
Here in the States, which is 11:21. So we will be done by 12:25 ish. Midnight past
Yeah.
midnight, 25 minutes past midnight. So
Yeah.
the conversation here tonight, as I was saying, it kind of centers around everything that is happening in the country. You're right there. You can see it, the economy, the governance, and all of those things. So we thought to bring you on as one of the vocal folks in the country, as an opposition. I know you're not going to be dishonest about what you see every day around you. You're going to not look at it because you're in opposition. I'm sure that if the government does right, you will say it, and if the government does
Sure.
wrong, you will say it. So I will allow Moses to come in because he wants to talk to you about your role in the Senate.
Yes. Senator, once again, let me say it's a pleasure getting to meet you. I read about you. I've seen you all the firework you do in the Senate. The people call you the light. And we are happy to have a very young man that you would trying to really do, a lot of work in the interest of our people. So, welcome to the issues room. Now, let's begin by looking at you. First, help us understand who is Darius. I mean, who is Abraham Darius Dillon in the Liberian Senate? Uh, when did you enter the Senate, and what do you hope to accomplish?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I am I'm Abraham Darius Dillon
Mm-hmm.
in Liberia, not a perfect one, but I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to send a message to our country that even if we are bad, we can try to be good, and being good can change our country.
Okay.
I'm one person who is keen on system building. This humanitarian way of representing people, patronage, we want to do away with that. When I decided to run for the Senate, I wanted us to clean the house first. Because when we clean the house, our house, we can clean the other houses. It's like the Bible says, take the speck from your eye so you can be able to see clear in order to see the speck in other people's eye. System, accountability, transparency, robust executive oversight over other institutions of government. Let's modernize the legislature so that our people can have access to us, internet, voting system, voting record, audit the place. Let's be open, let's be transparent, so that when we are now taking transparency outside, we can have the standing to do so. I went in the legislature not unaware that you can have all of the good ideas, but majority will always win if the majority says whatever the majority wants. I'm aware that in keeping with our governance structure, like it is in America and other places, the executive power of the republic is vested in one person, the president, who is the head of government, president, commander in chief, and head of state. The entire executive power of the republic is vested in the president, one person. The judicial power of the republic is vested in the Supreme Court, You see the difference?
Mhm.
The judicial power of the republic is vested in an institution, the Supreme Court. Three or more of the five judges must agree before a decision is binding. Similarly, the legislative power of the republic is vested in the institution, in the legislature. Majority of the members must decide before something is binding. But the executive power of the republic is vested in one person, the president, man or woman. Now, when you have the executive power of the republic vested in one person, and for which reason cabinet ministers and other people appointed in certain categories serve at the pleasure of that one person, and that one person controls the purse of the country, controls the army, controls the state police, controls everything, it would take courage of many persons in another branch to check that one person.
Mhm.
So that is why oversight, with all of the powers in the executive, the legislature as a body has the authority and the power to checkmate the executive. But if the executive, if the legislature in majority would think that pleasing the president will give them access to the points of development in the district or the counties, without recognizing that united with the power in the legislature, united, standing together for good causes, will bring the president to check and to do what the majority says. It will always be like that. And so we went in there to show proof that if you have people with courage, with character, principle, and you have many of us there, we can start to balance the government and then decentralize development in the country. It is a tough call. It is a tough call in a society where we are used to doing the wrong things so much so doing the wrong things look normal and accepted. You would try to do the right thing, you can look abnormal and you are fought,
So,
heavily fought.
yes, so Senator, what have been some of your accomplishments and challenges in accomplishing these goals, which you just talked about?
Thank you.
Mhm.
So, for instance, I entered the legislature
Yeah.
and knowing that all of the sectors in our country are practically down. So I thought our representation should benefit the people,
Okay.
those who voted for us, those who did not vote for us. Once you win an election, everybody now, you become the servant of everybody.
Mhm.
So, for instance, I decided to look at the education sector. In our country today, economically, the people are poor. Schools are charging skyrocket fees, sometimes, in fact, unjustified. The government, through the Ministry of Education, has a duty and responsibility to regulate. They have the authority to regulate schools, private and public schools. And when schools are charging unjustified fees and tuition and all of that stuff, then our representation of the people, our oversight role should come to bear because we enacted the law that established the Ministry of Education and gave them certain powers, governance power and regulatory power. And when we see that they are slacking or lacking in implementing the law as established and authorized, granting them the authority, then we needed to come in. So one of the first things I did was to call the attention of the Senate, which got the blessing of the entire Senate. Call the minister and his team. Let him tell us what is his vision to elevate the education sector because access to education, quality education, has been deemed and declared a human rights issue. And every government has an obligation to educate its people. The minister came on the blessing of my letter from the Senate. The minister was challenged. What is your vision? How do you categorize schools in the country? How do we see improvement in quality? What's your vision? Give us your plan. If it requires budgetary support so that we can fund it, if it requires amending certain portions of the laws to strengthen your work, so we can do so, because that's our role. And the minister came and his team, they asked for time. They went across the country according to them, came back to the Senate after 3 months. They said they did assessment and they found majority of the schools across the country guilty of unjustified hike in tuition and other related school fees, and that their determination was to ensure that those schools will refund the variance in the unjustified hike to the students and the parents across the country. And the Senate voted. We welcomed the recommendations and the findings. We voted and endorsed the decision. So a poor child in Grand Jia County were getting refund from some excess hike that was charged him or her. A poor parent in Lofa or Riverside across the country who have benefited one singular action, people-driven action, who have benefited the country. Why was that not implemented? It became political. They say we implement this thing across the country, and they say who advocated that Darius Dillon, a political scorecard will go up. So the executive step on it. And the legislature, the Senate, where we are, the majority that voted for that decision, I don't know what has happened to the majority to say we must enforce this decision. Because it's not about Dillon any longer. It's about institutional action that benefits the country and the people.
Yeah.
I mean, the business community, the economy is already bad. The Freeport of Monrovia is not friendly to business. All kind of charges at the port. I made representation through a formal communication to the Senate. The majority of the Senate bought it that CTN, some cargo tracking company at the Freeport, overcharging our people, while APM terminal doing practically the same thing, and the shipping agency charging for the same thing, and all of that stuff. While CTN, the Senate invited CTN. CTN could not convince us as a Senate about their operations at the port, and we voted in a resolution that CTN will cut down the charges so it can reduce the burden on business people, because the more business people pay fees and charges at the port, who suffer more? The end users, the ordinary people who go to buy the goods and services. The Senate voted for implementation. The executive won. That majority that voted that CTN should reduce her charges through the Freeport, the management of Freeport. The same majority in the Senate seem to be weak on enforcement of its own decision. Now, so I'm not one of the guys who think I'm a successful senator by paying somebody's school fees or helping them to pay their hospital bill. I want a system where we can upgrade the healthcare delivery system of our country, especially the public aspect. So if it is not totally free, it can be affordable. I want a system where we can build the quality of the public schools and make them free, especially from primary to secondary level. From kindergarten to 12th grade, like it is in other countries. When you upgrade the quality in the public schools and make them free, you could practically even put private schools out of business, or they will be compelled to reduce their cost or their charges. These things. And when you look at our salary and our benefits, I didn't go in the Senate to make money. I didn't go there to make floor show. So one of the first things I did was, since we by law, in keeping with the Constitution, we by law can determine our own salary. I thought 5,000 as a ceiling for public officials at my level, lawmakers, even the president, ministers, people in the judiciary. This is public service. It's not a place for us to get rich. I thought, since we say we have a poor economy and every sector needs some attention, then let's do the sacrifice. Because when we in public service, we say we sacrificing for the country, but our salaries and benefits tell differently. Let's do a law. Let's do a law and approve the bill. Is in the Senate. Let's make 5,000. I did the math. If 103 of us make 5,000 each, we'll be saving the country $4 million every year, just from that reduction, just from the legislature. And the fact that if we have the courage to reduce our own salary, since we have a mandate by law to determine how much the president and people in the executive make, then we have now the standing to reduce their money.
Yeah.
We also have the standing to reduce people in the judiciary money. When we do that, we can save this country just from high-ranking public official salary and benefits. We can save this country about $15 million that we can put back in some sectors that we target, like the education, the health sector. That's how, in my view, you serve a country, and then your service is impactful. You build a system, and then the people benefit. But if we justify our high salary on ground that more people coming to beg us for assistance, why are our people coming to beg us? Because they believe that more of their money in our individual pockets. If we put more of the money in the system and in the sectors and in the institutions, if, for instance, we build the public schools, put quality in them, competing with private school, or even better, if you came to me to ask me for school fees for B. Darius Harris because of the quality you believe in there, once as a public official, I have done my work to put quality of that same quality or better in Tottenham High. When you can't ask me for school fees to go to B. Darius Harris, I will tell you to go to Tottenham High because quality is there and free.
Okay.
You know, and so these are some of the, and there are other oversight things we have brought before the Senate. And just to let you know, the Minister of Education is appearing again on Thursday, day after tomorrow, on our instance. Thankfully, the Senate has blessed or endorsed our request to have the Minister of Education return on Thursday, which is day after tomorrow, hoping that something fruitful can come out of there that will benefit the country and the people.
And Senator, before you go to Volcano, let me, from what I hear you say, you come across as discouraged, frustrated, because it seems that you find yourself in a branch of government that seems to have limited or no power. Do you regret being in the legislature?
No, I don't regret. I worked at the legislature before. Before I went to the legislature, I worked in the executive at the Justice Ministry for 11 years in the prosecutorial department. I was special assistant to the Solicitor General.
Okay.
I was there from 1995 to 2006.
Yeah.
Before I moved over at the legislature. At the Capitol building, I learned a lot, the politics of the day, and people of what it means to have courage and principle to look at the president and say, this is wrong. I'm not going to vote for it. Or we can fix it. Look, in America, the Democratic Party is in control of the Congress, but yet Biden, who is the Democratic president, is getting some tough time getting his bill back better bill because Democratic Congress people are insisting not for their pockets. Other some of them don't agree for the debt ceiling to go up, or they want some things in there that will benefit their districts, their constituents, and their states.
Okay.
They're not just passing anything; they are negotiating and they're holding their ground. In Liberia, once you are a CDC and the president of CDC, anything is sensitive. Yeah, let it just go. Don't even open the book. Don't even open the Japan. If you are in a position, you want to stand up and say, no, let's create the room for check and balance, then you're supposed to hit the president.
Okay.
Even doing your work. Doing your work means hit the president. Take, for instance, the president nominated recently a young fellow whose name I won't call.
Okay.
The president nominated him to a position that does not exist by law at a certain ministry. And my colleague want to confirm him. I said, no, We can't confirm him because this position does not exist by
Yes,
law.
yeah.
And especially so, it is supposed to be a ministerial position.
Okay.
If we confirm this man to this ministerial position that does not exist by law, our confirmation, it means we are statutorily creating a position. In
Yes.
order for that position to be created statutorily, means the House of Representatives must concur with that. If by confirmation alone we have confirmed somebody to a position that does not exist by law, statutory position, then we're saying that there is no rule of law here. Because in order for a position to exist statutorily by law, it must have passed both houses.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know,
Okay.
so
So
these kinds of
continue.
other things when you bring about them, and they say, "Oh, you want to act like you're Mr. Something or you want even," but I'm not discouraged. It
Yeah.
even embodies me more.
Okay.
I'm not perfect. I make my own mistakes almost every day, but my mistakes are payloads and steps that I use to do better.
Okay.
Thank you, Senator. And you talked about the lack of rule of law. These are the kinds of examples to give. And so this segment we want to look at the state of affairs of the country, political governance. Is there a separation of powers, or is just the executive branch running the entire country, including the legislature and the courts? National security, corruption, culture of impunity, underfunded health and educational, sectors, and the big one that has been trending over the last several weeks or months, ritualistic killings and what we'll consider secret murders. So just look at those layers that are laid out and address them in segments.
Damn.
Is it
Okay.
loaded?
It's, it,
Absolutely.
it is the state of affairs.
Also,
It's
let's
a fair-
let's
yeah.
do let's do an overview. Let's start with the general topic, governance and the rule of law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rule of law is not strong in Liberia under this administration, especially. The judiciary is not vibrant. The judiciary has practically lost its independence. The judiciary has lost courage to opine on issues. For instance, the Constitution says all electoral disputes should be settled within 30 days before the Elections Commission. Or once they hit the Supreme Court, they should be settled within 7 days. All of the processes have been brought before the Supreme Court. You have electoral disputes still before the Supreme Court since December. And the only reason it happened, in my view, is when those electoral disputes take up political nature rather than the real electoral issues. And the Supreme Court or the judiciary as a whole will not have the courage to hand down rulings in this matter because it's like the old talk we used to have in Liberia that people they say, well, hunchback man does, the hunchback man can go see how to bury a friend because when he died, how to bury him directly. When you
Yeah.
have a Supreme Court where one associate justice was removed from the court in a kangaroo, reckless, politically driven manner, where that associate justice, that judicial officer enjoys huge constitutional protection once he's in line with his judicial performance. And yet, still powerful politicians can remove him like that. You're telling the circuit court judge to rule in keeping with the impulse and dictates of powerful politicians. You're telling the magistrate to say the magistrate will go to serve at the pleasure of the president. The circuit judges and Supreme Court judges serve for life only impeachment can remove them. And in a country where strong rule of law exists, impeachment is a tough thing. But if an associate justice can be removed from the bench like that in the face of all of the constitutional protection, imagine what happened to a vice. Immediately after Kabila Jara was removed the way he was removed from the bench, there was a case involving here at Coastal Radio Station. The magistrate ruled against the Minister of Justice that he says whatever they did at here at Coastal Radio Station was illegal. They removed the magistrate the same evening.
Oh wow.
The next magistrate that came in preserve one matter, I think he was doing favor the radio station. So the matter is still pending. The matter is still pending because every magistrate is a part of the case. No courage. Now, when you have your judiciary controlled by powerful politicians, especially the ones investors have to pass through before they can bring investments in the country, if an investor comes here and he's duped by a powerful politician, he wants to go to your court system to recover his money. But if the court system is controlled by the very politicians that do, and powerful people that do, the investors, when he leaves, they have network. Don't go to Liberia because when they dupe you, the court system in the hands of the very people who dupe you. So when the judiciary is weak, when the legislature is not strong at all when it comes to oversight, the economy will decline because it is not a place for investors to have confidence to come. Then, when people are dying with and mysteriously, and people are getting missing, no trace of them, no closure to how they got missing, whether they are alive someplace, whether they actually dead, so the families can have closure to their worries and fears when people have to impose curfew on themselves to start to run early. You know the country is in trouble. When you have the police, when the police is more partisan, they're professional, then of course you understand that the terrain is a tough terrain for people who are vocal, critical, and everybody must kiss the feet of the power that be, or else you don't have protection. When you have the fiscal policy, monetary policy of the country, the authorities who say, even in the face of the independence granted them by the laws establishing those institutions, will get the thing working at the behest of the president. Is the way to go. People can't get the money through the bank, loss of confidence, and a whole lot of things. And a whole lot of things. It wouldn't take courageous people with fine principles and character to say, this bill this president sent is good for the country. Notwithstanding that I'm a politician, I will support it. Or this other action is not good, I will stand my ground because it's not good for the country. How many lawmakers stood up to say the removal of Kabila Jana is not in a good interest? How many? No. President Weah may have engineered, he did not vote. The men in the Senate and in the House voted. You want to blame President Weah? Yes, he engineered it. He wanted Kabila off the bench. But if men and women at the legislature have some spine and courage, Kabila would not have been removed. And so these are some of the instances where governance and the rule of law is almost a lost case. As discouraging as it may be, we cannot quit.
So let me continue in this segment. I was just giving you a gist of where we were conversing. Corruption, 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 corruption. Um, what do you say about it right now? I know it's like it's existential. You live with it. Um, How can it be addressed from your perspective?
You see, government as an institution is not corrupt. The government is like a house. You paint a fine, put nice furniture in it. When you put clean people in it, that place will remain tidy. When you, I don't care how beautiful the house is, when you put dirty people in there, it's not going to take long for you to see the untidiness of the place. So government is not corrupt. It is individual that enter government either with a corrupt attitude or become corrupt while they in government because of impunity. When they had, at Liberty Party, the late Councilor Bronsky, Charles Walker Bronsky, most times I don't call him late because most of us are alive. Charles Walker Bronsky is alive. Councilor Bronsky always said to us that in order for you to fight corruption, three things. One, you should not be corrupt. You should not be perceived to be corrupt.
That's true.
Then you have the courage to fight it. When you're not corrupt, when you are not corrupt, and the perception of corruption is not here over you, and you have the courage to do so because of that, you are not corrupt. But when people start to just perceive you to be corrupt, that perception in politics sometimes it overrides reality. Once you are not corrupt and you are the leader, you set the tune. Trust me, everybody will follow you. Let me give you this very unrelated example. George Weah becomes president, popular, he's loved. What the things happening in the country, George Weah is still loved. And mentally, George Weah did not write any policy for people who love him to dress like him. He just wrote proposal. Everybody who loved George Weah said to dress like him. There was a time in the country, nobody loved George Weah to follow him wanted to wear pussy anymore. He just started to wear pussy, and all the time to change the world to pussy. Then he started wearing pussy with Scooby. All that wearing pussy with Scooby, and they followed the leader. What I told them, he get wet shoes, he wants some
Senator, I don't know why your signal is kind of muffled. I'm not sure. You come in and you go out. I don't know if it's the internet, but continue. Let's hope that it improves.
Probably
Yeah, go ahead.
internet.
There you go. You sound better.
Yeah, you sounded very good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I was talking about George Weah proposal.
Yeah, it won't spoil your conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
You
So
got,
I'm trying to.
say that one again. Say that one again. 1 year that one.
Yeah, maybe I was talking about the proposal on the internet, like.
Yeah.
But I was trying to relate something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the president who can wake up early morning, holidays, Saturday, Sunday, to go exercise. Early morning. Man, everybody follows him. This is the same president Monday to Friday, wake up 9:30, 10 to go to work. So his ministers and people who know they go to work just around that time. Now, if this very president, who people can even change their wardrobe to dress like him, if he had declared his asset and published it to begin the road to transparency and accountability, if he had done so, his officials will follow suit, especially if he had made it an instructional policy issue as detected by the law. Because in order to fight corruption, you must not be corrupt, and don't let corruption enter the room. Prevent it. One of the ways to prevent it, people don't understand the meaning and the essence of assets declaration. It's not just to put figures on paper. It's to say what you worth before entering public office. So while you are in public office, your acquisitions in public office can be matched with your legal earnings.
Absolutely.
You understand? If the president himself, who should be executing the prosecution of corruption, if himself is not corrupt and he's leading the way, trust me, the country will follow. But when you have the leader who has no courage to fight corruption, who himself smells like corruption, of course he expects the country to flow and believe that being corrupt, amassing acquisitions with question marks is the way to go. Now, if you have a legislature, if you have a legislature that can checkmate the executive, then some fear will enter in the executive and in the judiciary that when you are corrupt, the legislature will check you. You understand? So
Yeah.
corruption is pervasive. People can just steal money from the Freeport or any place, and you just talk about it, and then when God knocks somebody down, they will go to that topic. It's done. There is no robust fight against corruption, especially under this administration that came to change. I declare my asset. The law does not mandate me to publish it, but I published it because good ethics say you should lead by example. Because I published my asset, I did a bill for us to amend the code of conduct to make publishing of asset and lying in on your asset declaration a crime. To mandate publishing of asset by law, and after the verification, if you honor declare or over declare, it means you have committed perjury. You should be prosecuted. It's still in committee room. You see, when you have a society that want to fight corruption, these are governance institutions that you will run after, reform institutions you will run after, so that they can pass, so they can be implemented to change the society.
All right. Just before Moses coming,
Yeah, but yeah.
so we talked about all of those things, but let's talk about the ritualistic killing of these notable people and what's continued to perseverate. We just heard yesterday that another person was found in the sinkhole area, in the street with body parts extracted. We had the sons of two former presidents murdered. Uh, an immigration officer murdered, and this just seemed to be the norm. And yet we don't know what the legislature is doing, and that includes you guys in the Senate. What action are you guys taking to address this? Because we say we're waiting for President Weah, then we're waiting for Judgment Day. So let's start with you folks who are supposed to be the most powerful branch of government. Where is that concerted effort? Where is that coming together to address this ritualistic issue and the secret murders of people? Because you said it right. It scares anyone from coming to Liberia. And see the holiday season, the plane tickets are going up because Liberians love the country. They want to come home, but they also have that existential fear. What's going to happen? Could I be the next person? So it's your branch of government. What is your branch of government doing? Let's leave President We are out of the equation right now.
So as a public official at my level, I'm going to be careful what terminology to use.
Okay.
To say murder means somebody purposely planned to kill somebody. Ritualistic killing means there is a dead body. There are parts extracted from the body, and the intent for the extraction of the parts is for some means, evil means, or whatever purpose. That constitutes ritualistic killing.
But you don't see that it could be intentional, it could be planned, and it could be perceived as intentional.
So as it is now, I would say homicide.
Okay.
Homicide means you can suspect that the body you saw, somebody purposely killed the person. And I would say questionable deaths.
Okay.
I would say mysterious deaths. And the more mysterious and unanswered deaths occur, there's cause for alarm. There's cause for concern. I will not rush to talk about the the deaths, shocking, mysterious, questionable deaths of the two sons of the two late presidents, because they are people of high, repute in society, so or high standing in society. So what's about the common people? People, people, people are dying. People bodies found almost every day, and these deaths are not investigated to logical conclusion. So they leave so many questions on the minds of people to the point where the country is scary, fearful, and people feeling insecure. We have a duty as the government and especially as a legislature. I'm a member. I'm a member of the Defense, Security, and Intelligence Committee of the Senate. I'm a member. The security people, I will not divulge certain classified security information to the public because I'm on oath to protect that. But what is out in the public most times is the police people, especially the security people, you will always hear them cry for more budgetary support for more logistics. My thing is, yes, but why when citizens want to protest against the government, you can see huge security deployment with all of the logistics available. The weapons, grenade, you see them all in the regalia and everything, fully armed to the teeth. But when there's armed robbery someplace, then no logistics. When there's killing someplace, then no means to seek after the perpetrator.
Yeah.
And when there's election someplace where the ruling party is, the security people are there seemingly and clearly protecting the government partisans that are throwing stones and destroying property of opposition. You see all of these heavy deployment. So where the logistics can come from all of a sudden to defend and protect when government has particular interest. What can happen to the logistics when the citizens need protection? More besides, I am questioning why I should give security people a dime on a budget when most of the budget will go toward covert operation, whose budget line you can't explain and you can't audit. So if the police, for instance, got $1 million in the budget and they ask for additional $2 million and you give them that $2 million to equal $3 million, they will take $2.5 million out of there and put them largely in operation and covert stuff. They hardly take the addition that we add on their budget to leverage the incentives of the police officers. So there's low morale. You can get all the logistics, you can get all the forensics. If the people who are supposed to do the job are not motivated, low morale, there's problem. So we are investigating all of these things, and thankfully the budget is just about to be presented to us. And doing these budget hearings, these things are going to come up because you can't keep asking for logistics. You can't keep asking for more budgetary support. But every year, more killings going on, more questionable deaths occurring. Most times, citizens are not protected. But when something is about to happen and citizens want to express their grievances, then huge security presence with all of the logistics available. So we can't be funding the security forces that want to be partisan. We want to fund and capacitate a professionalized security sector. Thanks to the air, the army is professionalized. You can rely on them. They need to beef up their strength. I have issues with the bulk of money we're giving to NSC. Right now, there's no external threat here on Liberia. I don't care how angry or disappointed citizens are. I don't know of any group of citizens outside the country planning to try to come invade this country or to wage civil war here. Maybe it will talk of fighting drugs. Then I don't know why the NSA is even doing because the drugs all over the place. So let's review the NSA budget. Let me justify we can cut it and put it in the police. The first responder when it comes to first line of security protection for people that the Liberia National Police, they need to give out the manpower. They need to be more professionalized. They need to know what kind of instructions to take. They need to gain the confidence of the people that they serving and are supposed to be serving and protecting. I am prepared to vote for increased budgetary support for our security people. Most of, especially the hierarchy of the police and some other security institutions, they come across and demonstrate to be more partisans than professional, and they're killing the morale of the people on the ground.
If you just joining us, this is the Issues Room. The Issues Room comes to you on Facebook and YouTube and the Issues Room page. Today is our 20th edition. We have with us the Senator of Montserrado County, Republic of Liberia, the Honorable Abraham Darius Dillon. He's commonly known as the Light because he speaks his mind freely on the political issues in the country. We're very privileged to have him as guest tonight. We encourage you to continue to share the page. A lot of people would like to hear the senator. Very, very, very frank talking gentleman. Moses,
Yeah.
come in.
Yes, Senator, we have over the months of follow your work, and we have realized that you have a very strong passion for helping the young people of Liberia, especially the disadvantaged youth. The guys with the negative label, Zogos, the drug addicts, the alcoholics. And you recently established a rehab intended to help our brothers and sisters who are struggling with the problem of substance use in Liberia. Give us a status report on your drug treatment program. Who are your targets population? Where are you getting your funding from to have this program operated? And what is the duration of the treatment?
Okay, so and normally I tell people upfront, this is a health related issue. This
Yeah.
is something that has to do with people mental
Hmm.
health issue,
Yeah.
and it has to do with people social issues. I have no idea on rehabilitation.
Okay.
One thing I know, the growing number of persons on drugs and other substances, the growing number of persons suffering from mental health issues without even knowing because of the social issues in the country is growing so much so that it's becoming a national security threat to the growth and development of our country. Because every one citizen who is addicted to drugs and practically wayward, so to speak, is a minus from the productive sector of our country. Every one citizen who is a drug addict, alcoholic, or substance abuser, one who is abused by substance, dangerous substance, who does not think straight any longer is a quote unquote wayward, who has become unproductive, that one person who are there in an office contribute to the growth and development of the country. That one person who are there on the pulpit preaching, that one person who are there a teacher, who are there a community leader, every one citizen who is suffering from drug issues, substance abuse, who is quote unquote a zobo, is a minor from the productive sector of our country. And every time we abandon this sector, this population, they are growing in number. There were few in population in some places in Morovia. Today they are all over the country because of the deliberate neglect of these people by national government, and not just the Georgia administration. For 12 years under the UP administration, no much focus was placed on this population. They were abandoned, they were neglected, they are only good during election time. And I'm thinking ahead, what happens to Liberia with this growing population?
Okay.
So, so let me share some light. This is a dark spot. When I say I'm the light, I'm not Jesus, I'm not God. But I mean, the setups that are dark, that are neglected, forgotten, I will just put some switch on there so that it can claim national focus and attention so that we all can go take it over and do something about it. And so I decided to do this rehabilitation center. And thanks to God, the friends of Dillon, especially in the diaspora, America, particularly Asia, Europe, and other places, mothers, the movement for Darius Dillon as senator, another institution that saw something in us to support and promote our senatorial bid. These two institutions, Friends of Dillon, mothers, they made contributions, and there were some silent donors who helped us put the 17 variable structure together. And Friends of Dillon with Minnesota chapter were kind enough to ship a container that is already at the Freeport, and we're in the process of doing the clearance. 2 weeks ago, we got partnership with a with an angel, I want to put it that way, who came to take care of the clinic. They will do the equipment of the clinic with the modern technology and equipment that is required there. The process is on, hopefully in the next week or two. We should see some progress there. And so they will put together a professional management team of psychiatrists, mental health people, people who are versed in the field, health related people. The politics of my office want to divorce the politics of my office from the center. The people who are professional last in rehabilitation and with mental health issues, they will determine a category of people or patients who want to take in there for
Yeah.
treatment and duration.
Okay.
We have a board. We have a board comprised of friends of Dillon, mothers, and few other Liberians who volunteering and press in the area, but also use sense and influence to raise funds to sustain the project. That is also in the works so that early January, hopefully by January, we can start to take
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
people.
So, Senator, you explained lengthily, and let me just help you understand a little bit. Drug treatment or addiction, to go through the healing process, which they call recovery, is not an event. Meaning that you don't bring Moses Sandy in today. You say, well, Moses Sandy stays with you for a week, and you say, oh, now you are healed, and you can go back home, and everything is over. Recovery, addiction recovery is a life journey. It's a continuous process. It is very costly. To do this as an individual, it is laudable, but you will need a lot of support. You will need trained clinicians. You will need individuals who are versed in drug and alcohol counseling. You will need medical doctor. It's very costly. And as they say in drug and alcohol counseling, people, places, and things. So these guys come from communities. They have associates. They do things that remind them. And so when the man comes and stay with you for 2 3 days, he leaves and go right back to the same community. The man is going to be tempted to use drugs. The man will be tempted to drink alcohol. So you're going to see a revolving door, people running in and out of your clinic to be able to help them, there are a couple of things that you people need to work on. Employment skills, because that's one of those things that contribute to people using drugs when people are
Sure.
unemployed.
Correct.
People
Correct.
have social problems, man, going through divorce and other, challenges and all of that. So it takes a lot of work. Now, what are you planning to really recruit the kind of people that you need? Because you need individuals who have an understanding of what it is to run a clinic such as that. It takes
Yeah.
real,
So
yeah.
so we that is in the work.
Hmm.
One of the ways, for instance, we got some volunteers already,
Yeah.
professionals who
Yeah.
say, look, this is my field. What you are venturing into or daring to do is something laudable. I want
Yeah.
to volunteer. You
Okay.
understand?
Hmm.
And we want to do the program in a way that there will be people who, when you, what we call patient or inmates,
Yeah.
when we take you in, you will stay there, you're not going home.
Yeah.
You stay in there, you will
Hmm.
reside in there.
Hmm.
Hmm?
Hmm.
We'll treat you in there for the number of time as advised by the professional people.
Yeah.
And if you don't have skills, we'll, we'll source contract with vocational
Okay.
institution so
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
as you recover, but you don't have
Yeah.
skills,
Hmm.
then we can right away get you into a skill training school.
Absolutely.
Now, Jesus resurrected Lazarus from the dead,
Yeah.
but Lazarus died anyway later on.
Yeah.
So, when you sin, you will die. So maybe Lazarus sinned and he died. Jesus resurrected him.
Yeah.
Maybe he sinned again, so he died subsequently after. There are some people who, even you do rehabilitation for them, if the thing that put them in that situation still exists after rehabilitation, the likelihood for them to return to that old state
Oh yeah.
drop.
Mhm.
So what am I saying? If the man did not have skills for which you were frustrated and you took on drugs and all that stuff, if you gain skills after rehabilitation and he does not have the tools, kit, and thing to go and to use the skills to
Living.
earn living, the
Yeah.
likelihood for him to get frustrated again is very, it's possible. So when we get you out of the drugs, you are recovered and you can get some skills. We look forward to, providing kit. If you
Yeah.
did tailoring, we we
Yeah.
look forward to a program and a blessing to give you a machine. If you
Yeah.
did carpentry, we look forward to the blessing and the available means by which we can give you some, carpentry kits that you can
Yeah.
go to use to get a little contract to earn some money.
Okay.
But this thing is a huge deal.
Oh yeah.
The government of Liberia, I'm a member of the health committee. I started to take interest in the health budget. When I look in the health budget, we had 20,000 for mental health. And I'm asking myself, millions of dollars, millions of dollars budget, and we have 30,000 for mental health. I'm asking myself without even being a professional in that field to know the magnitude of this thing we call mental health. For
And,
the
and-
health
and
ministry,
let me just say this. That's just the technician, the direct care staff who going to work with the person on the floor. That's the
right?
salary. That's the whole
Yeah.
budget for mental health.
No, the mental health program.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
In the health,
Mental health,
in the health budget. That's what
Forget
I'm saying.
yeah.
forget
No, not
Senator.
the salary of mental health program.
The
No, no, no.
entire
What I'm saying,
the
I'm
man is
coming.
telling you
And,
there's a
In
budget for
America,
the
in
entire
America,
mental health,
$30,000
mm,
is
okay, right,
about
right,
the salary
right,
just for the guy who's
right,
working with with with,
right,
My lord.
the patient.
right. So when the government budget of over 500 million
You got
has
20,000.
200,000 in for mental health,
That's
it
what I'm
only
saying.
tells you that we are not serious as the government at all.
Yeah.
So my role, my advocacy over the budget as a
Yeah.
member of the health committee and chairman on youth and sports committee of
Yeah.
the Senate
Mm.
is to raise
Of
more
course.
awareness and advocacy with my colleagues. Thankfully, we just did a temporary budget that's running from July. We end this December. I saw
Okay.
20,000. I saw 20,000 in the budget, the interim budget, and I spoke to senators, made a case for mental health, and they said, okay, this is an interim budget. It's tight, so we'll put we'll add 30,000 on it. So the mental health department were able to get 50,000 for the 6 month budget that ends next month, December. Now
Yeah.
we are about to receive the annual budget, the budget that runs through the year. We are about to receive it. Let's see what's there for mental health, and let's see how our advocacy can use something. And so that I will work with the health ministry, the mental health department, so that it can be a national cause.
Yeah.
It can be a national cause. Even our center, the
It has
government
to
want to
be.
take it over. Even our center, the government wants to take it over, funding, and so that our people can get recovered and get the necessary skills and training. I don't want a political glory. That is why I did not name it in my name or any of my relatives' name. I named it and is registered by law, the Center for Rehabilitation and Integration. No Liberian citizen who suffers mental health issue or any form of addiction that requires rehabilitation will go in there and pay a dime. No registration fee, no feeding fee, no clothing fee, no medical fee will be paid by
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Those services will be provided to them free because there's goodwill people out there who prepare to fund and support this program.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank
So
you.
my family and I, we are not going to the bank smiling from that place. We are taking our salary and friends of Dillon, mothers, people of goodwill, putting their packages together, digging deep into the prices and the wallets, even under this economic situation around the world, to help revive somebody back to decent
Yeah.
life.
Help
And
our
and you
people.
are you are absolutely right because we've discussed this issue. I think
Yeah.
our government is not paying attention to the young people of Liberia, and I talked about it 30 years ago to now. Rather, it's about 30 years now since 1990.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and that population is the voting population. That population is the youth population that's supposed to take over from
yeah,
you and myself and the very
yeah.
president we are, and successive leadership to come. But if they're
Mm-hmm.
not prepared and they're all just polarized with devices that are negative to their well-being, I'm telling you, Liberia is going to go down, and you are taking the right initiative. And so we'll encourage our viewers here tonight to see this as a very powerful initiative. And at some point, we on the platform will try to see if we can tap into our viewers, whatever we can raise to help support this cause. Because we work in human services here. We know how much money is put into it. You cannot run that institution without money. And whoever coming to work, a lot of them will have to be volunteers. Because even ourselves here who are at the helm of leadership, we don't make the big money. In human services globally, there's not a lot of money to be made. It's a lot of
Yeah.
sacrifices, a lot of commitments, a lot of dedication that you have to put into it because you want to see positive. You want to see people come out. But let me come to you
So
on
we
this
just
question.
we just secure a solar panel at
Okay.
the capacity at which
Yeah.
it can supply the compound with electricity. Somebody went to the place during the dedication. They said, "Oh, Dillon, I need to tell to Zobo because the Zobo they're coming to enjoy life here more than we do for all those others." Or he's gonna pay bill for the people. I mean, we try to make it a place where we want to treat human being with human dignity, no
Of
matter their
course. Yeah.
condition. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so
So
we give them a facility in keeping with what we could afford and in keeping with what was contributed by friends and silent donors. We got shower, hot cold water. We want to ensure 24-hour current. We want to do feeding 3 times a day, if not two, but three at most, two at least a day. We want to give them some recreation in the compound. And we just want them to know that somebody care or some group of people care about
Yeah.
the situation. Because since the war, especially, we were only keen on taking guns from fighters. We did not consider rehabilitation. We just took guns from the people who fought the war with all of the trauma, the drug addiction, and all of that stuff. And we just wanted people to get in queue to vote politicians to power. And since then, this population has been neglected, and the number has increased so much. So I always break it down. And, all you're talking as Liberians, even though
Mm-hmm.
there
Mm-hmm.
may be
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
If you have two rats in your home, male and female, and you
They'll
don't do
bunch you in.
anything to get rid of them, they will produce.
Yeah.
And the more they produce, the rat will chew your document, they will damage it. They will eat your food. Now,
Your
when they eat your
clothes.
food, then when they eat your food, the likelihood of health issue coming to you. When the rat eating your coat or your document, all that rat know is eating something to eat. Now you're damaging something. So when people are not, mentally stable and the very well because of various issues, the potential for increase in violent crimes, petty crimes, all of these things are very, very likely. And then the more people are addicted to drugs and alcohol and substance abuse and suffering mental health issues, like I said, the lesser productive people you have
Yeah.
to develop the
And
country.
and
So,
and,
so,
and,
so,
and
Moses, Moses,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to
Go
ask
ahead.
this question because the
No,
senator
no,
saying
no,
the
not
idea is good.
question that.
No,
Not
but I want
question
to
that.
ask this question.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Uh,
Shadow, I
you,
was telling you tonight. I wanted to
I
see,
know,
I was telling you tonight to see whether you can respect talent.
but
You
I
ready
told
to
you, I
talk?
said,
Tell
I know,
you.
I told you, I said, I know you were soon say you ready to go because I'm watching the time. But
Yeah.
So
I read it.
therefore, let's do another 10, 15 minutes.
Okay,
Okay,
I have
great,
to go to
great.
bed because I got
but I know,
early committee hearing. We
yeah.
can
Yeah.
reschedule the show. I can stay here with you for another 2 hours.
And then
Oh,
we'll
okay.
talk more. We'll talk more
Yeah.
about the rehabilitation program.
Yeah,
Right,
We
that
got
would
right,
be
a
right,
lot of
nice.
other issues we wanted to cover. But thank you so much. So
right,
here's the
right.
question: what are the chances of current president we have for 2023? Be honest here tonight. I really wanted to ask you this question because I know you are a mobilizer and you can see things long before they come to fruition. With everything happening around in the political atmosphere, everything that is happening, we just what 1.5 year away to elections.
Yeah.
What are the chances of President Weah becoming a second term president?
CPP can defeat CPP. Only CPP can defeat CPP. I'm deliberately saying only CPP can defeat CPP.
Hmm.
A united, honest CPP, George Weah is wanted.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Only CPP can defeat CPP. A united, honest CPP, George Weah cases the margin goodbye already. When I return here the next time, we go deeper than that.
Okay. So then,
As it is, as it is, anybody who thinks because George Weah is screwing up, so we can just do anything anyhow and we can win George Weah, we will have to think again. Only CPP, a united, honest CPP, can defeat CPP. CDC is a former ruling government when you have a united, honest.
so then, my question before Moses comes in: what will you say that people are now seeing that the light is dimming? The light is not as bright as it used to be. The light is not that vivacious, illuminating light that was so bright. Maybe I don't know, 10,000 illumination. Uh, Darius is dimming. Darius is dilly dallying. Darius is two faced. Darius is the honor man. He's dealing here there. Darius is corrupt. And you talked about perception.
Yeah.
How can you reunite your vivacious spirit in the politics of Liberia and the mobilization of civil society to make things work so that people can then begin to believe in the cause.
Okay, so I will expand on this for my next appearance, but
Okay.
I've been around too long to understand people impulse and their sentiment. There's one category of people who said no leg will home already. That the same people who say they like him, I can feel for them because a no leg will home already. Then again,
The high will be dim.
exactly. There are some people, there are some people who are sentimentally, politically unhappy because of CPP. I can understand that. I'm a human being. I'm prone to error. I have made some errors. I told a very cheap, unwarranted lie about my plane ticket. It hurt my own reputation. It hurt my own voice. I know it, but I had the courage to come back and say, I'm sorry. I lied. I should not have done it. It
Hmm.
is a big deal in this country for public officials to admit when they did something wrong. There are some people in this country we used to, even if you show the camera and the video of them caught in an act, they will tell you the video is doctor.
Yeah.
I refuse to live with a lie that I know that I told that my people who believe in me believe a lie.
No, absolutely.
I thought I owed them to be truthful. So it was courage to come back and say, what I did about my plane ticket was unwarranted. I should not have done it. There was no reason about my ticket. Why should I lie? But you know, when you're too concerned about the views and the sentiments of your employers, let me humor here, Shelton and Moses. You
Yeah.
buy one watch $200. You buy one watch $200. You get on your welfare. Why you spend all that money? Say, oh, honey, this thing
You
at
say
$50. Just keep the land, no, no. But as a public official, you got no space to do that. But when I said when I spin the story on my ticket, people who believe in me believe in the spin that I told. They were arguing with other people
Hmm.
who who were insisting that it was the other way. I owe those people to tell them the truth so that they know when I'm speaking, I will be careful and I will be even more truthful. I know that hurt, but did it take my voice away? No, nobody. I'm not playing in there. My function and my reputation as a senator in public service. Nobody can bring anything, say, this is the corruption we have caught Dillon in. This is something secret he has done that injure the credibility of his voice and his office. No. I told the chief lie on my ticket, they hide me, and I will always say it to remind myself because when you do something that hate people and hate yourself, you remind yourself every day so you get doing it. The second part about people who say, oh, I'm surprised that Dillon is ungrateful, that in politics, some people were supporting me without me knowing they wanted me to support their choice for 2023.
okay.
Hmm.
That I am not leaning their choice so I can understand the political sentiment. Does it sway me from function as a senator, my voice, and my courage to be robust for oversight and transparency and accountability? No, it doesn't sway me. You gotta know some of these heights are sentimental, they are temporary, the political, everything will fall in place. All I need to do, keep praying to God to keep on track. When you sleep as a human being, you wake up. Don't stay on the ground. Wake up, move, but do it better, and don't sleep again. Especially when you see something that comes to make you sleep, try to flee from it. And that's what we do. I am content in my soul. I pleased my conscience when I came back to apologize because my conscience haunted me for a while, knowing that I told a lie. I'm a quality lie on my ticket. Not many persons will do it. So when I hear people who live lie every day, there's a saying, misery, lost company. Misery, so people miserable, they're looking for people who miserable it is. It is how confident. People who corrupt, they're looking for corrupt partner. So you will see that you know, so 30,000 issue came out from the street. 30,000 is not additional allowance or benefit, personal benefit for lawmakers. 30,000 is the $2,500 a month for a lawmaker office to function. About 30,000, 12 months in a year, about 2,500 a month for a lawmaker office to function. And sometimes people think we should not even find justification. I'm courageous enough to do it because when I went to Arlington to hold town hall meeting with the people, the renter of the hall, GS sound system, it's not coming from a salary. When I'm going to meet the people to have engagement with my people in Broadville, the gallery there, the chairs for rental, all of those stuff. When I want to do a bill, when I want to put a bill on the floor, say for instance on child rights, and I contract Moses Sandy, who is versed with issues of child rights, and I contract his services, legislative engagement, I have to pay for his services. That money comes from there. But because it was not explained, and because it was delayed and it came in bulk, especially at the time our people were dying of COVID, it annoyed people. So by the time you told us, oh, you have to 30,000. But in every ministry, there's budget for professional services. The minister can hire consultants, can get people to do research and draw down for that money, discretionary spending. The only thing is we must have a system in place that can track the expenditure of that money so it can go to personal use. That money is not for anybody to build hand pump. It's not for any project for anybody to go do toilet. It's for legislative engagement. We do a budget. We put about 400 to 500,000 in the budget for humanitarian expenditure for the president. So the president can visit Moses Sandy and he's sick, and the president say, I'm coming to fly you out of here. Everybody say the president is good. And he goes to that budget and draw down on it, and he rendered humanitarian assistance to Moses Sandy for that government money. But when one constituent comes to me and I say, oh, Senator, my roof off my head, please, but I don't want to sing. If I have to do it, that's for my salary. You understand? So if you explain these things to the people and you can track the expenditure of that money and you can account for it, that's not a big deal. 2005 every month to run the office of a senator should not be a big deal when we as a legislature can make the health minister to account for the budget and we have beds at JFK. When people go there, they can be beds. People don't want to listen to a lawmaker when you say no bed at JFK and you ask why no bed there, they say, shut up, you're to 30,000. But the millions of dollars that we put through the budget for these sectors, and they are not, providing the services. At the airport, the Ministry of Health is collecting $75 per passenger who leave Liberia or enter Liberia. Even if you took COVID test in America or Ghana yesterday, you got your result today, you are within the 72 hours period, and you enter the RI, they will make you take COVID test to pay. So passengers go and fro are paying millions of dollars being collected by the health ministry, not going through the budget stream, not accounted for through the consolidated fund of government, account of government, and the legislature as a body, we can find the majority to work together to hold these people accountable. So millions of dollars being collected by the executive, not accounted for through the budget, no accountability through oversight. At the Freeport, CTN is collecting money from business people and paying service fees to the Freeport. And none of that money coming through the budget. So the president, McGill, Samuel Tuer, and you name the Freeport manager, They
Magubert
alone know
Junior.
yeah, they alone know where all that money going. You understand? Millions of dollars. But
Hmm.
because we are failing on our collective oversight that can benefit the people, so the people say, yeah, sure, no, you're just there for yourself. You are one no bad at JFK, they say, well, you're totally thousand. When fire happens somewhere, you are one, no fire truck, they say, well, you're totally thousand. So you can understand why the people present their
Yeah.
anger at us, thinking that we're taking all the money
Yeah.
and not talking to them. And also, these are some of the things, frustrating as they can be, but we should not quit. We will not quit. We will remain in there, try to build a block, hopefully, to get people to serve their conscience. I ask the people to vote for me. They employ me. How can I be the employer and the employee? My story change and my employer's story remain the same. How can I feel?
Yeah,
How will
that's
I
that's a
feel
very
that
good
my
that's a very good
employers
analogy.
Yeah. That's
Very very
my
good
very
analogy.
smart.
employer's story remain the same, but my story change? And
Yeah.
then I think I'm a good employee. Where in the world employees can enjoy more than the employers? Only in Liberia.
Wow, that's powerful. And you know what, Moses
Mhm.
and Honorable Dillon, very very powerful, because here in this country, if the employer is not getting results from the employee, you're terminated.
Mm.
They gotta
Because
Oh
you're
let
gonna
you
yes,
put the
go.
employer, you're gonna put
oh
the
yes,
employer out of business.
Of
You're
oh
course.
gonna
yes,
put a so
Mhm.
the employer is
oh
there
yes,
to make
oh
profit,
yes.
and the Liberian people
So
should be benefiting from their resources, like you said, not the
our people
employee
think
who are the senators
our
and
people
judges
think
and the president enjoying everything.
yeah, yeah. Our people think their right, their power end at the voting room. We want them to understand that even with Senator Dillon, your power is even more assertive, even after election, doing governance. I
Wow.
said I want to be the light. I said I want to be the transparent, open guy. So I said, what we do in the Senate, I will let you know. So some of my colleagues in the Senate started running to talk. So we received this amount. Then people say, oh, but Dillon, why you talk for? You say you are going to be talking. No, you see, they don't understand the bigger picture. So the people who were in the Senate or in the legislature who were not talking, they say, let's go talk quick, or who talk, Dillon will talk. That's victory for openness. Now the legislature is open. If we don't open the legislature, you don't know what we're doing there. You don't know what we're receiving. And some of the things we're receiving, if they make you angry as the employers, then you tell us to remove it because you employ us. But if you don't know what we're receiving, you don't know what we're doing, nothing will change. It's just like our place is perpetually dark. So everybody doing their own thing. Nobody get time. People naked, they get time to wear clothes. We start flying. Then, then one day, you just go put a light on. You get everybody in the eye. The man who naked, checking. Why you put a light on for everybody going? They're probably, yeah, kind of that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So
Yeah.
we are saying, our presence is even compelling people to be open. They said, by the time we open it, we got a whole press conference and tell the people what we see because it won't do it, they won't talk. So the fact that other people talking for you to know what's happening there is a victory for open legislature.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
The fact,
absolutely.
the fact that we now have website that will be, up and running soon is a victory for an open legislature. The
That's true.
fact that we now have microphone before us and the voting device technology is being procured so that our voting records can be seen so people know how we voted, what bill we passed, what bill we proposed. That victory, collective victory for openness.
Yes.
So now in the Senate, open Senate, I say I'm not putting my hand on to vote because I won't vote on the record yes or no. Because sometimes when they say, oh, in favor of this, put your hand, or they take one picture, or their hand, or they did something happy, they use that picture, say, yeah, or then I voted, yeah, and then they raise their hand. So I said, no, I don't want to be caught in these things. I want to vote on the record, yes or no, on critical issues.
That's true.
All these things are called a fight for reform, for transparency, for openness. It's going to take time. When people used to one word, like I said, earlier, we used to doing the wrong things in the country until doing the wrong things have been normalized and accepted.
Wow. It's another one.
You want to do the right thing, you can look abnormal and you can be fat. Imagine people on their knees, bend their knees, praying for Dillon to be corrupt so they can say, hey, you see, now all corrupt. If you're trying or that other person is trying to be good, let's try to be good at them too, so more people
But
can
let
be
it,
good. Waiting for me to be corrupt.
Honorable Dillon. Honorable Dillon. Honestly,
but,
you
but
you ready to stop integrate? You ready to stop integrate, my
You
man?
know,
The way you
let me
been talking, you ready to
educate
attack
everyone.
greater? I
Talking
really
about
wanted to ask you the question. You ready to attack greater the way the people say
no.
you know what I
attack
said?
greater?
You know, I reached a 5 semester level of college education as student. You know, the reason I like the third grade thing is like sarcasm. So you have master degree and you want to
Uh-huh.
reduce me because I don't have a college degree. So you say
Yeah,
I'm
I'm a
integrated.
tell you.
And you know what's interesting, Shelton?
No.
So you master degree holder, you say I integrate, but you want debate with me.
Yeah.
Just to call a debate with me, I've won because if you correct a third grader, you will master degree. You correct a third grader, you have achieved nothing. But when third grader correct you, then
Yeah.
so I always come to these things as the underdog academically, and then look, education is acquisition of skills.
Yeah,
What a form
absolutely.
of
Yeah.
the
Right.
application, the output will determine whether you educated or not.
But
Yeah.
look,
Acquisition of the paper,
mm,
obtaining the paper, going through the rigor of the academic sojourn is good. Look,
yeah.
it is
Don't
no
Mm,
don't don't
intent
give me
to
to the
attempt to
paper team.
discourage.
Plenty people got that
no.
paper too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Just,
look,
just
I
you.
am never ever, I am never ever intimidated by anybody's paper
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
because because I know myself.
Yeah.
Every office I worked in before I became senator, I was a chief of all the staff at Justice Ministry. I was supervising lawyers
But
at the Capitol building where I was chief of staff to the Speaker Edwin Snow at the time. I was head of all of the staff, everybody with academic paper. We see money. Look, when you want to know some good educated, all them talk,
Let them say your note.
he came to they learning ready.
and you didn't know that you did a premature book.
Yeah,
I ain't go on. He is he to go in to
Yeah.
did
and
another
our and
piece
our
of book.
royal and our
But
royal promoter, royal promoter.
yeah.
Come in, Moses. I know you want to say
Yeah,
something.
and quickly before the senator go, senator, I just want to provide a little bit of education here for our people. You know, when I heard you say that in the national budget, the Ministry of Health allocated $20,000 for mental health, that just demonstrated to me in the world how ignorant our people are and how insensitive they are. You know, in Liberia, when people speak about mental health, the first thing that comes to the mind of most of our people is insanity. The people are crazy. Having mental health problem has nothing to do with insanity.
Correct.
People who struggle with issues of mental health are people who deal with emotional problems, situations that makes it difficult for them to think and act right. So, for example, if you were terminated from your job, that comes with significant stressor. If that
Mm-hmm.
situation is not handled well, that can lead to clinical depression. And clinical
Correct.
depression can lead to people committing suicide. So our
Yeah.
people need this kind of a little education so they can understand when we talk about mental health.
Yeah.
Mental health treatment, Senator, is very costly. Even $500,000 in a budget for mental health is small.
I'm going to
If
be
you got
pushing
to
for a
give you
million.
$500,000 today, so look, run the clinic that you run it. Let me tell you, when you begin to operate, you will call me and tell me you're going to see people running in and out of your facility.
Mm.
Yes, there are going to be people moving in and out because the problem that you're trying to solve uh, is a difficult problem.
I think there will be a lot of recidivism, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
that's what we
Yeah.
call relapse, the relapse. And then there are a couple of reasons why people will relapse. Like I told you earlier, let's assume that a man comes from a home where his brother is an addict, his mom is an addict, his sister is an addict. The man comes and stays in your clinic for, say, 5 months. The man goes right back to the same home. Those people in the home will be what we call triggers.
Mm.
Those people will prompt him because he gets back today and his brother is using cocaine. Right? And son, the same day his brother is using cocaine. His
Right.
brother going to influence him and he will what? Relapse. So the man came back, no food at home. The man is bored, the man is stressed because addicts, when they are under the influence of substances, they don't recognize problems. So when they may have any kind of a social problem, a psychological problem, they may what? Self-medicate. When you self-medicate, it means that you use other drugs or alcohol to deal with your social stressor. They may be tempted to use drugs. So if you have the frequency of people running in and out, $20,000 is like the people that didn't know what they were talking about. But when you come by another time, Senator, this is a whole discussion that we can have.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
come by
Yeah.
another time, we can sit and really discuss
But
this
Moses,
issue.
Moses, that $20,000 not even for a rehab. It's for it's just for mental health
Yeah, but that's what
in
Yeah.
I'm
the yeah
saying.
in the
The
social service
Yeah.
entire
department.
country, it tells you how our health, and we're talking about people who run what? Health ministry. So the
Mm-hmm.
expectation would be that these people know what they're talking about. You
Yeah.
allocate
Correct.
$20,000?
That sector is just abandoned. The
Yeah,
population of our
it's
people
sad.
suffering mental health issue,
It's sad.
addiction, they just
It's sad.
abandoned.
Mhm.
And
You see,
so
I
we
got
just wanted to share the light on it. In closing,
Yeah.
uh, the topic medical on look,
Mhm.
the legislature has contempt power,
Yeah.
Article 44. But let's be clear, the closing sentence of Article 44
Yeah.
gives huge a huge delineation
Mm.
between when a dispute arises between a lawmaker and a non-lawmaker.
Okay.
As a senator, if I had dispute with you or you had dispute with me, and that dispute is not cognizable before the legislature, it should not be entertained.
Okay.
If I bought a land or sold your land,
Mm.
it's a dispute between Senator Dillon
And
and
Moses.
citizen Moses Sandy. The
Yes.
legislature has no jurisdiction over land cases. So that matter is cognizable before the court. The
Right.
legislature I can't go complain to my colleague for us to call Moses and hold him in contempt. What happened today with the lady
Yes.
and the subsequent action by the House of Representatives can best be described as legislative tyranny.
Absolutely.
It's an abuse of power. I'm a victim of legislative tyranny. And not because I'm a senator today, do I think it's okay. In 2008, the House of Representatives locked me up for 6 months on quote unquote legislative contempt without due process. I challenged my detention before the Supreme Court and I was released within 5 days. So I did not serve the 6 months sentence. That was legislative tyranny because due process was not accorded.
Absolutely.
And that I frown on it, and I was a victim of it before, and I am a member of the legislature. I will have to remind myself that I was a victim of legislative tyranny before, and no citizen, whether my supporter or not, No citizen or no person should suffer from legislative tyranny. My understanding is the latest car was hit in the traffic,
Yes.
and the lawmaker claims immunity because he going to session.
Come on now. There's no
Look,
immunity
so
there.
when you go to session and you take the opposite lane, the tail lane, which by law gives certain public official right to take some kind of imaginary tail lane in this country, because we don't have real tail lane here. So when you say we public officials at certain level can take tail lane for certain reason, it means we are intruding into the opposite traffic.
Traffic.
And our law requires us to drive with caution. But even at that, even if you were in the rear lane going to session and you enjoy immunity, once there's accident, the car remains there for police to come do reconstruction of the accident scene so that they can do the investigation later on. Just because you are a lawmaker doesn't make you right to just leave the scene.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So my understanding is the lady fled, drove behind him, and he entered the Capitol building, and she entered there with him, and there was a scuffle. They said she slapped him. I wasn't there, but that was being said everywhere. And then all of a sudden, they called the lady before plenary to hold in contempt. Contempt
Yes.
of the legislature consists of acts that will impede the function, impede or obstruct legislative function. They have session today. The fact that could even bring the lady before the session to hold in contempt, so it means the session was not impeded, was not obstructed.
No.
And the act of the lady was a dispute between a lawmaker and a non-member of the legislature. When you slap somebody, that's simple assault or aggravated assault, depending on the degree of the injury sustained. And any kind of assault is not a case that can be handled at the legislature. It's cognizable before the court. So to hold a citizen in contempt for a dispute between a lawmaker and a non-member, compel the lady to say sorry, drag her to jail for 15 days, is beyond legislative tyranny. It should be condemned. It should be discouraged.
So then, Senator, in summary, with what you have just said, does that in any way suggest that our country has been reduced to the level of country of men, but not of laws?
Of course,
Okay.
when a judge renders judgment and powerful lawmakers don't like it or powerful politicians don't like it, they remove the judge. When a citizen is injured by the action of a lawmaker, he or she goes to jail.
It's
Uh,
unfortunate.
uh, uh, yeah, so when you have people who are writing above the law, then governance is in question.
That's true.
Then you're creating the room for a very poor economy because there is no incentive. The environment is not inviting of investment and investors. It's a sad thing.
It
The
is.
president, since George Weah became president, the Constitution has been consistently violated. We have not had census in keeping with the constitutional period. We have not had any by-election in keeping with the constitutional period. The president is so dictatorial in his nature to the point he wanted us to repeal all the laws granting tenure to
Wow.
certain, yeah, repeal all of the laws to remove tenure from all public officials in the executive. And so that even central bank people will remove their tenure, so they say at the pleasure of the president.
This is
You understand?
laughable. Yeah.
So a person demonstrates their true nature when their true democratic nature by their action. The president is dictatorial. Samuel 12 told you and me and the whole world, let's get more citizens at the legislature so George Weah can become a quote unquote benevolent dictator. They just qualify so they can sign for, but they just want nobody question the president. Eh? In some seditions here, the thing when you qualify the kind of dictator, then a good dictator is a dictator, whether benevolent or brutal. A dictator is a dictator, and no dictatorship should find its way in any democracy, especially like the one we're seeking to have. But I thought it was a good conversation tonight.
One person asked quick, answer this question quick. This guy said, can the legislator Bawe be persecuted for his action towards the lady and her brother?
Yeah, the lady can take the man to court. The law says, they say no lawmaker shall be arrested while going to or coming from session. During the session period, session is defined as the period at which we go to session. I mean, we go to work to the end when we take break. So we come in January and we take break in August or September. That whole period of session. When I'm going to session or coming from session, you can't arrest me for, say, ordinary traffic violation. So you can't serve me any rate of arrest unless it is a breach of peace or felony. When I go into session and I go for unbrusquement, breach of peace, disorderly conduct, which is a felony, I can be arrested.
Yes.
I can be arrested. But there's tendency to think that we are above the law and we can be arrested at all. The Constitution in Article 42, does not give us blanket immunity from arrest. And arrest is different from citation. You are a certain lawmaker, even during session, the period of session, a court can cite you. You are not arrested on a citation, but we think the court is not even supposed to invite us when a citizen has dispute with us. When we put it in our heads that we're so much above the law and we are protected under this Article 42, that it is blanket, that's where the problem comes. I, Senator Dillon, I pay my real estate taxes, my driver's license up to date, I register my vehicle, I register my wife's vehicle, I make sure my wife's driver's license is up to date. I want to remain in the confines of the law. I don't take telling. When I'm late, I hold myself responsible. If I wanted to be on time, if I don't expect the traffic, it is there. It is why it is. Other people in the traffic. I'm not trying to play angelic here, but I'm trying to say, when you believe in the rule of law, when you have respect for the rule of law, you live within the confines of the law. So we lawmakers, we don't have blanket immunities under the law. It just says so that small things can be disrupting our focus and attention and our ability to think.
And some of your men don't even use that focus and attention because they even not read one bill. Let me speed it like
Even American everybody arrested. Don't put your mom on man.
I'll be here. You won't fight for a minute. But listen, thank you so much.
And one thing I also learned, experience. One thing I also learned, sometimes being a hero, sometimes a lone ranger is a good thing. Why legislative what?
Procedures.
Sometimes if you fire men on everything when you put beyond the floor, they will not pick her. As a result of which you look ineffective, people start asking you to begin senator, what bill you not put on the floor that pass and all that stuff, they fight everything because, and sometimes even if you write yourself fighting, look, sometimes my colleagues, some of them say, Lord, they don't think talking the truth about their leader. I said, but that just leave it get onto the floor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then when you post on the floor, and you say you want to Then you see, and I'm
Yeah.
supporting that. So sometimes you just gotta be flexible.
Hmm.
You gotta bend backward over and compromise. But once those compromises will not injure your principles, your values, eh? Then you give and take. The legislative, maneuvering.
Okay.
So
You
sometimes
know
when
what?
people
You know
see
what?
me laugh for my colleagues and entertaining certain things
They
for us
just
to
see your
flow
friendly.
together,
Then
then
they
they say,
say,
"Oh, the men not join the people."
man, I don't CDC.
Yeah, the men not join the people.
But Senator, honestly,
Yeah.
we got some straight talk questions for you. We'll set up something to come back. A
We
lot
already
of our
Right,
know.
viewers,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of our
right.
viewers there, they want to know certain
I
things.
want to talk CPP. I want to talk Liberty Party, and I
Very
want to
good.
tell you how prepared I'm getting when we're serious to remove President Weah and his gang from over the country.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, but then
Yeah,
Senator, our doors
And
are
you gotta
open.
deal, you gotta deal with the issues room. And
Yeah,
when
Senator,
you
our
when
doors
you
are
want
open.
so let me just give you heads up, and we'll communicate later on during the course of the month. We're gonna
right,
do that, but we want to focus our full attention on mental health,
Yeah.
and we
correct.
want to be able to encourage and hopefully raise something, because that project you've undertaken is not an ordinary feat,
It's
and
not
it's,
an
it,
easy.
Yeah,
it's not
Very
peanut money
costly.
that can sustain it.
Yeah.
Because
right.
just like you said, that person who joked that I want to be Zogos now because the way the people then coming to enjoy,
Yeah,
you have a flood of human beings that
Yeah,
you won't
people are
be able
gonna
to
come in
take.
there, like,
I'm
yeah.
just thinking in
yeah.
my head, medication cost
Of
alone,
course. Just the
medication
medication.
cost alone. So thank you so much
Where
for
there's
coming.
a will, there's always a way.
Yeah, you're
Yes,
right.
you
You're
can
right.
do it, Senator. You can do it.
So we
Yeah.
got three segments for
Thank you,
you:
guys.
the
Thank
Yeah.
CDC,
you.
It was
I
a
mean
pleasure.
the CPP, the Liberty Party, and the fight to get President, we are out of power 2023.
CDC, I'm on netmap for CDC. CDC, at the measure of my name, nobody in CDC for John Weir Down can sleep.
I know,
Okay.
That
I know.
CPP discouraging my voice.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to fight my own people. I don't hear CPP discouraging my voice.
So yeah.
George
So
Weir and the entire gang have sleepless nights at the measure of the name Dillon. And this is no arrogance. I'm in George Weir government. They're fighting to bring me down, and they can't find anything credible from the government side to say all the time you're talking, yeah, Senator. Yes, when the people will not catching to credibly. No, they can't do it
yeah.
because I don't put my name in those stuff. When we talk about integrity issue and to take the issue to George Weir and the gang, they ain't want me. I just went slow because CPP think just discouraging, and sometimes
So that
at
was
my
it.
place where I am in CPP,
Hmm.
I'm a member of the National Advisory Council, which is the highest decision-making body of CPP, also of National Assembly where you elect standard bearer. The National Advisory Council comprises of the political leaders, chairmen of parties, and legislative, officials. I'm a member of that body. So when I have issues with anybody or anything about CPP, I sit in the meetings at that level, I voice it out there. If I have proposal, then I can't come in the public and be saying, no, I can't do that at my
You're
level.
right.
So, but then I had to go slow on even the government because you dealing with the government, you look behind your own people, they're behind you. Ain't no so, but it is what it is. So I'm
Yeah.
ready. And we'll get along.
Yeah,
I
so the
guess, Senator.
CPP conversation, I just want to lay it out now. So we'll reach out to you. The CPP conversation, Liberty Party, and moving
Yeah,
we are.
George, we
Then
are,
the
yeah.
mental health,
yeah,
and then we want to
yeah.
have a straight talk with you where Liberian people can just ask you any question in our legislature.
So,
Somebody will even
so,
ask you about the bill on citizenship, the dual citizenship,
yeah,
where is it going? Because the court
yeah.
just released something and they're telling us, say, the people who got American citizenship, once they did not denounce the Liberian citizenship, they are still qualified to be Liberians. They shouldn't be asking, them to pay for visa and all of
I
that.
believe,
So
I
there's a lot
believe,
of other talk we
I
talk.
believe, I believe that once a Liberian
Always on
is always a
Liberia.
Liberian.
Yeah. Thank you.
I put a bill on the floor. The same politics got stuck in committee room. A Carol Gray put a bill on the floor in the House. It passed within days. So they bring it to the Senate. for concurrence. I will champion it. At this point, it doesn't matter to me who submitted it. It must just pass on. Liberians cannot be deprived of their Liberian citizenship and their rights
Thank
to
you.
enjoy their benefits as Liberians. So
Thank
whether it is Carlos Gray, whether it is Thomas Fowler, anybody who bring a bill that everybody agree with, once it is for dual citizenship to allow Liberians who may abroad to benefit from the Liberian citizenship and still be citizens of other countries where they acquire citizenship of, I will champion it any day. I will vote for it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator, for coming. We
Pleasure.
appreciate
It
it.
was a
Listen,
pleasure.
you did
Thank you. Enjoy.
you did so much well for staying this long, and I thought the conversation was prudent and honest. We're bringing the callers a few minutes from now so that they can give their own what I would call their own opinion and critique.
In
Some
Liberia,
people, some people here still
in
say you are lying.
let us talk behind my back.
Yeah, some people still say you are lying, but let them talk. We'll be here to
Yes.
hear what they gotta say.
Yeah,
But thank you.
no, I
Go,
appreciate
Yes,
it.
go
Senator.
rest,
Thank
go
In a
you.
rest yourself.
democracy, if you expect everybody to love you, if you expect everybody to believe you, if you expect everybody to praise you, something wrong with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're
Thank you,
absolutely right.
Senator.
Okay, guys, thank you so
Good night.
kindly.
Good
Have
All
a
right,
night.
good
Good
one.
night.
Senator.
Good
It's
night.
a
Good
pleasure having
conversation.
you too. Thank you.
Thank you
Enjoy.
very much.
All
Good.
right. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moses.
Yeah.
Man, listen, there was some good stuff here, but let me just recognize some folks. Uh
Yeah.
okay, we got Masaji Mwala, Helen Flomo, welcome to the Issues Room, Lawrence Powell. River says Pro, welcome to the Issues Room. Thomas Awaji, Weado, my man, welcome. Samuel Gokai Hollywood, we say welcome. Loretha Grand, Mercury Tisdale, Mapla Nikia, Jake Mazo, Pei Son, Josephus Sa Thomas. The lines are open now. You got the privilege to call. While I call some of your names here, you can call now so we can talk about what the senator talked about tonight. Bambala Swalaka. Bambala Swalaka. Welcome to the show. Amadou Sharif, Edward Pay, Vahum Mendeman. We say good evening and welcome. It's good to have you in the house. Henry Shapulo or, or Shapolu, put it that way. Henry Shapolu, welcome. Justina Harris, best man. Um, Thomas Harvey, Josephus, Thomas, we say welcome. Rivers S Pro is on the line from Wisconsin. Welcome, Rivers S Pro. Don't come there with that CDC thing.
What's up,
One second, hold 1 second. Caller, you hold on the line. I'll come back to you. I got a call of River Says Pro is on the line. River Says Pro, are you there?
Yeah, yes, I'm here. See,
Uh,
I'm the CDC slash Alexander Cummings. So, yeah,
the man already declared his intention. Go ahead, my man.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I said I came late. Even though my man Thomas always doing well, he always invite me, but then I just got on quick. But I had a question for the honorable senator. I also wanted to appreciate him for the rehab that he built for the unfortunate people, aka Zogos. I don't like to call them that name, but my question had to do with this whole Soriso issue. He denied Soriso's confirmation because of some alleged big statements, big threat that he made, which I don't think posed any threat to national security. And that was one of the main reasons he denied Soriso confirmation. So I wanted to ask him, does
So
he regret that incident?
so that's what I said to the senator, that we would bring him back for straight talk. It would just be straight talk. So one of those questions would be that question. We have other things to talk about. But the senator did extremely well. He came in for an hour. He stayed for 2 hours and changed. So he really did well. But thank you, River
Oh,
says Pro. So we'll go to the next caller. Thank you. Okay, the caller is gone. The caller is gone. Okay, I told the caller to wait. Yeah, so Moses, the senator, keep calling. The number is 404-272-2808. You're in the issues room. Volcano, Shelton, Moses, Sandy tonight. We just had with us in company. Uh, Senator Darius Dillon of Montserrado County. He was here straight talking with us tonight. It was a great conversation. He covered a lot of grounds. We want to apologize for some of the signal problem within the audio, but if you read lips very well, you will understand exactly what the senator was talking about. But Moses, before we get to a caller, there was something very important
Yeah.
that Senator Dillon mentioned. This $300 of COVID money
Yeah.
entering the country and leaving the country. Then he
Yes.
talked about the
Say, I
money
say
that
it's $150. I think what
oh
it's what $75
yeah,
one
75
way.
rather. Yeah,
Yes,
sorry, sorry.
$150.
$150
Yes.
in and out. And the CTM money that they're giving back to the Freeport. And that's just two of the examples he gave, but there are many
Mm-hmm.
other monies that are coming through funnels where there's no check and balance, no accountability. We have not heard anything from this government of President Weah through the Ministry of Health, the collectors of this amount of money. More than 1 million people since COVID have gone in and out of Liberia, to be
Yeah.
honest. And
Yeah.
we don't know where this money is going. We don't see anything happening in this healthcare sector. They did not tell us where this money is going to. The test they claim that they're taking, sometimes people don't even take the test. You arrive in the country, you're so excited, they say, my man, where's 75 to give? Yeah, people
Nego.
you hurry or go outside before you get late. Stuff like this. But just before that, let me take this caller quick.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, caller from Massachusetts. Welcome. What's your name?
Yeah, buddy, how are you? My name is David. I'm calling from Mass. How are you?
Good evening. Welcome to the Issues Room.
Yeah, my man. I want to appreciate you guys so much for this responsible show. I always say this, not noisy. You
Thank you.
guys keep us substance.
Thank you.
One thing Dylan was saying, my brother, sometimes it is too sad for our country, all right? And just only the little one we saw from that lawmaker. Can you imagine?
Hold a
We all
second.
live.
Hold a second. Hold a second. Caller, please hold. I'll come right back to you. Don't leave the line. Just hold. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yes. Can you imagine, my brother? Just for accident, just by the man leaving, by the lawmaker just leaving the scene of the accident, like another crime by itself
Yeah.
in this country.
Yeah. It's a crime. Yeah.
And just because they have the power,
Mm-hmm.
the poor lady like that, and her brother,
Country
they are
man and
sleeping
using
beyond
power.
bar. Can you see the abuse of power in Liberia? And my brother, I was in that country a few months ago. That is how Liberia looking. When you say it, people don't like to hear it. And this is what I found most of the or Facebook talk shows or hosts. We don't discuss the issues that's happening to our people back home. We only
Absolutely.
want to talk about the CPP, the GMB, and the CPP, and this.
Yeah.
There are issues confronting our people daily, and nobody talks about it. Do you know how many people just locked up behind bars, free, and nothing coming from all of that? Look at what happened to the representative from, I think, around Nikutan, and that girl that think they were trying to put in jail for rape.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that entire case died. I go in the CDC. Everything just, and that's just how the country run, brother. It happened to me.
Yeah, you're right.
I was just driving on the street and somebody just came and caught, and they just came and just blocked the entire street. And when I called the police, bro, the police told me, said, no, but man, that busy people fiancé in there, I can't do nothing. And I'm telling you, you
Thank you
walk
so
away.
much, man. Let me take the other caller. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank
my
you.
brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Caller, you still there from Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. What's your name?
Oh, it's Kenneth Harris.
Okay,
Anyway,
Kenneth, hold 1 second. Let me tell this caller to hold. The caller from a 7958, please hold. I will come back to you. Let me handle the other caller. Coming, Kenneth.
okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, my name is Kenneth Harris. I'm calling you from Louisville, Kentucky.
Welcome.
Oh, right. Okay. The very first thing I would like to say is, your co-host. I admire when he was trying to ready. He did a tutorial class. I start to understand what it's like when it comes to mental illness, all the stuff that you're saying. I
Okay.
really admire him for that. And I hope to see the next time.
That's the man's
That will get
background.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
So
Yeah, I think I think we need him to return to Liberia uh, and help to work at the Ministry of Health so we can improve on all of those stuff. And then your first caller, he called. He said that he is a physician and he supported Ghana coming. Well, I would tell you the other way around too. I am supporting
Uh-huh.
Councillor Gogo and Joseph Bata.
Okay.
Okay.
Second,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank
And
you.
then now, yeah,
Go ahead.
the show that is a wonderful show, and I hope to see the senator return
Oh,
to get
definitely.
involved into the
He's
politics.
committed. He's committed.
Yeah,
All right.
I have
Let
been
me.
a lot of questions for him for the politics. Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
Kenneth, thanks, man. It was a pleasure having you.
Hello, caller from um. All right, the caller drop. So somebody said because I said so look under man and they said I should take the statement back. My people,
Oh,
I'm
no
sorry.
problem.
I take the statement back. I'm a secondary member. If you ain't accept it, I take the statement back. What's the guy
Yeah.
name? Adolphus Hogarth. All right, so let me
Okay.
come back. Let me come to this caller 7958. You know that the caller section here. So they want to put
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
hours.
yeah. Take the
What's
calls. Yeah,
the
take the
guy name?
calls.
But anyway, he will call back immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so hello, caller, you there? Oh, okay. So let me just apologize for saying some countryman name. But
Yeah.
you know, the fact yeah, I'm a countryman as well from Liberia, born and reared. Nothing changed, not because you see me bright. I
They
I
said,
won't tell
they
I won't tell you my tribe tonight, but I will
they
leave
said,
that one because when I
they
tell you
said,
my tribe,
my boy, I'm ready, man.
the people
I'm a color, but
say
I'm
I
ready,
said man,
man.
they money. I'm winning money. They tell you. So Adolphus, I understand, and you're right, but you know, sometimes it's just the kind of way we joke and it didn't come across as anything insulting, but I always, try to stay as sane and professional and civil. So I will take your advice. Thank you for the comment. Let's go to
Trying to
7958.
stay as sane and
Can you
professional
lower
and,
can you
and,
lower
and,
your
and
monitor,
civil.
please?
So I
It's
will
very
take your advice.
he calls
Oh,
off again. Caller from the 7958. If you want to call in, please lower your monitor. Um,
and call
please
back.
lower your monitor when you call back. So Moses, yeah, as I was saying, these monies are being collected.
Yeah.
No head, no tail. Where the money's going? Millions of dollars with no
Million.
accountability.
No.
Okay, he's calling again. Oh no,
Yeah.
that's another caller. Let
Mm-hmm.
me take this caller. Hello, caller from a 9871 Pennsylvania number. Last digit. Are you there?
Yes, hi. My name is Edward. I'm calling from Philadelphia.
Uh,
Um,
Thank you. Welcome to the show. You followed, and we had a conversation with the senator. What's your comment?
yes, I've been following, and first of all, I just want to say thanks to you guys. It's always beautiful. It's always a beauty to see Liberian professionals doing something like this. I want to say thanks to you guys. On Senator Dillon, um, I'm a huge fan of his. I feel like it's time for us Liberians to be serious about change. And the change we crave for should start with ourselves. If we are serious about change, we need to start being that change. And everybody makes a difference. I wrote on the post here that humility is a key quality of leadership.
Hmm.
He made a mistake once and he owned it,
Yep.
and that's what, sincerity, and that's what being, an example is all about. He made a mistake. He owned it. He did not have to come back to anybody to explain. He could have just done like everybody else did. But because he wants to live
Just
that change,
hold a second. Hold a second. Caller from the 5891 number. Please hold. I will come right back to you. Continue, caller. Caller, continue.
detox nurse. And I just want to thank you guys
Yeah, go
need
ahead.
for mental health the need for mental health in Liberia. We have a lot of sick people. Some of us here,
Hmm.
have issues with our experiences during the war. Our people back home have their own issues, and the fact that Delon is championing such a very, very, very important cause is applaudable.
So
And I
let me
just,
ask you. Let me ask you something quick. Will you be willing to put small thing toward that? What's it cost if we ask you to be generous?
I definitely can do that. I
Thank you.
definitely can
Thank
do
you
that.
for the commitment. Thank you. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much for calling, and we'll keep you. We'll hold you to your word. Let me go to the next
Oh,
caller. The caller is from a 5891. Is that the right number? Caller, caller, are you
Good
there?
evening. Good evening. Yes, sir. How are you?
Good, good. You're calling from Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir. This is Godwin Doe. We are
Welcome,
on Facebook.
welcome, welcome, welcome. You've been following the
Yeah.
conversation. We had Senator Dillon here tonight. We covered a wide spectrum of different issues, including his rehab work in the country with our less fortunate youth. What is your take?
Yeah. I did not follow the
O-
program from
Okay,
the
so you
initial
came
stage.
in late. So just
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
one, hold
I
one,
came in late.
hold
Yeah.
1 second. Let me put this caller in queue. Caller from a 2201 number. Please stay in queue. I will come back to you. Don't hang up. Go ahead.
Yeah. I came a little bit late, but the discussion was very healthy, and the info about Senator Dillon is on the right trajectory. My only take on the issue is that as it relates to the mental health issues, I'm calling on. I want to encourage or calling on the central government to subsidize a budget that will augment the homes that is being built by Senator Dillon. I mean, mental health issues. Trust me, every family, if not all, are being affected by mental health issues. So, if government can contribute or subsidize that mental health homes built by Senator Dillon, then government will be on the right trajectory in that direction.
Thank you.
And never put politics aside in that way.
Thank you.
That's my take.
Will you be willing to contribute to this cause? Any
Definitely so.
any little
Definitely
thing.
so.
Okay. So
Definitely
we'll
so.
raise the fund drive subsequently down the stretch because he said the place is opening in January, and I know there's a
Right.
lot of money involved. I work in human services, so I know what it costs to run this
Right.
kind of
To run
program.
a
We'll reach
program
out
like
to you guys. Thank you so much. Make the issues room your platform. Come back. Don't stay away. All right.
No problem. No
Thank you.
problem. Good night,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you, my brother. Let me go back to that caller. The caller. Wait a minute. Some people are not
that.
patient, Moses. But yes,
Yeah.
some very good point here. Now, the fact that I just said the country man, people fighting me. Oh. Some people taking my side, but the other guy, he's still making this. Listen, I apologize.
Yeah, the man has apologized already. So we
I
gotta
myself
move
am
on.
a country man. It mean nothing when they say the country people from Liberia. I will put my hand up. Don't let the color fool you, my man. I'm from from over there. I know what we're going through with the country people.
And
All right.
the
Take
man know that he ate Gary Yaga.
1830. Caller from 1830. I told you caller 2201 to wait and then you hung up. Caller from 1830. Are you there?
yes.
Okay, hold 1 second. Caller from 2201. I will come back to you. Don't hang up. Stay there. I'll come back to you. 1830. Good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, this Umo Sise. I'm calling from Upper Derby. How you doing,
Uh,
Shelton?
you calling from Abu Dhabi or you calling from Iowa? Don't.
No,
Okay, welcome to the show. Y'all can carry your number. Then y'all be pretending like y'all stay here with us. Don't be fooling us. But welcome to the show.
no,
Uh,
no. I in Texas now regarding the service. I'm in Texas. I
okay, okay, good, good.
just everything.
Thanks for your, thanks for your service to the country. But let's quickly do this. 1 minute quick. Make your
You
comment.
know, yes, I was back in the December last year, but the situation are going on in that country. Like even some of my colleagues I was talking to, where I went back on the very very durable man. Hey, you will see some people that will just come in upon you sometimes. They even be walking and they be thinking what the next step. So the lawmakers, other people, I always tell them if you vote for somebody, yeah, you just need to be careful
Mm-hmm.
because somebody developing their own businesses, a lawmaker building school,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, getting clinic. And when you ask them why you voted for the person, they say, oh, the person is building school, the person is doing this for his
Yeah.
own personal use.
Yeah.
So even some of my family members, well, because when they're doing the election time,
Mm-hmm.
so when I was meeting with them, they say, hey, they voted for Thomas Father, other people say they say this. I told them both, I said, oh, those who voted for Thomas Father, Nobody come hi around me and ask for pen. I can't give you anything because you don't know the people you're voting for. But
Yeah.
all the time you spend here, they got me 15 years. And you telling me that because you pay school for your own personal use.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I even went in the community, I told them why you can do in the community. You look for somebody in the community living with you.
Yeah.
Prepare article in corporation. Just support that person. Just use your own money. Just support that person for that personal role. You want to allow for somebody to come for different place and pull you with rest, with money. You vote for the person.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
After you vote for the person getting power and they forget about you.
All right. All right, say
Okay,
good
thank
comment.
you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you. All right. Is the caller still there? 221. All right. This caller is impatient, very impatient. He will call back. You know, Moses, I'll tell you the truth, man. Listen, this is a segment that I enjoy. I told you he will call back. He's calling me
Yeah, the
again.
phone calls. Yeah.
2201. Caller 2201. Are you there now?
2201 forwarded by.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, from Florida. Your area code says Florida. What's your name?
I'm Charles Howard.
Charlie, data Charlie. Wow, my man. Wait a minute, my man. You're a technical buff. Listen, Moses, back in the
Yeah.
day, if I can say I was a DJ, but back in the day when I was the IT8,
Yeah.
this man was talking the internet age before it even came to the word. This is an
Wow.
internet tycoon. I used
Okay.
to do a segment on my show with him when we were at the Ducal Hotel. And
Okay.
Charles Howard would come and talk about the prospective internet age. And we were doing
Okay.
this. And even the late Blambo Robinson was elated by his intelligence around what was to happen.
Internet
Where we
issues.
are
Yeah.
today. Charlie,
Hmm.
Charlie, did you ever know we'll be talking in Florida, being live in studios with me via the internet? Huh?
Yeah. That's
Yes.
Did you envision this would have been the way to go when you used to discuss these things?
No,
Back,
I didn't envision it at this extent, you
yeah,
know. I
yeah.
knew it would have been, I knew it would have been something good, but now that we're doing live streaming in real time
I
online,
mean,
um,
people don't even build
it's fascinating.
people don't even build radio and television stations no more. I mean,
No,
conventional radio will
you
become
know,
obsolete. But yes, man, you follow the
but
conversation. Let's stick to the plan. What is your thought
yes.
on the conversation tonight with Senator Dillon?
The only problem, not the problem, but the only thing I wanted him to expand on a little bit was the idea that I know we already have a rehab center, rehab hospital in Kingsville. I mean, we were born and we knew our parents, our uncles all worked there. But he built a new rehab center. My question to him will be why he did not go and renovate that rehab center and expand on it instead of building a whole brand new one. I mean, he had his rationale. I just want to understand the rationale behind why he didn't go at the old rehab center and fix it up and use it.
And Charles, I will tell you honestly, I don't think the old rehab center, even the land is there. The people have already crushed. People sold the land. There ain't no old rehab center. That rehab road you're talking about, they've
Yeah,
already built Kennedy High School when Ellen sold the property or gave the property to Robert Bob Johnson, who built the Kennedy
yeah,
Center. They removed the Kennedy High School, my alma mater, and put them in that vicinity. And I believe it's part of that land where the old rehab, the old and only rehab center used to be. The reason why that road is considered rehab road and that area is named.
yeah,
So
yeah,
the land gone, man. The land is gone. Just like the Omega navigation land is gone. Many of the
yeah,
lands are gone. Rehab gone. So right now the only two rehab facilities is the one they built on Duper Road, just at the corner
yeah,
of what's his name, the late Thelma Gardner. That road that cuts
yeah,
in, yeah,
yeah,
through there. They put a rehab center
yeah,
there.
yeah, I
On,
know.
yeah, that's the one that is now and is under the JFK. And so Senator Dillon
Yeah,
thought to do this one um as a
okay,
as his initiative as a government official. And there's one other one I
yeah,
believe that I saw a video on somewhere on Marshall Road. But that's about it. And those places are the capacity combined, all of them would be less than 100
oh wow.
in
yeah,
capacity, less than 100 people for all three of those
wow,
facilities. So Nothing, man. Nothing.
It's, but I think it's a start, you know. It's a start.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
also
It's a
yeah,
start,
somewhere.
and I will hope that
It's
when
a
we come
start.
back to launch some kind of little small financial support, people like you will come here. If it's even 10, 15, $20 we can raise from your end, just
Yeah,
to
no
contribute.
problem. We
We
will.
will do that for
We will. Don't
for
worry.
that.
We will.
For mental health is dear to my heart. I have talked about the youth of Liberia.
Yeah.
Moses, my colleague here, same. We worked in this country. We came here as journalists, but we've been able to lean into other directions. And I know that if we don't have our youth, population taken care of, it would be a disaster for our country. These guys who
Yeah.
are in government now and getting rich by hook or crook, they wouldn't enjoy the money, because when these guys go at mock, when the youth becomes,
Yeah.
you know, you know, it would be a disaster, and we don't want that to happen for our country. So thanks, Charlie, for
And
coming. We
and and
appreciate your
and
insight, and
Okay,
we'll
man. You
keep
gonna
you
have a
we'll
good.
keep
You gonna
yeah
have a good time.
we'll keep you
yeah,
in mind.
sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Moses,
Volcano, I just wanted to provide a little bit of information on the whole issue of mental health. Mental health and substance use. Studies
Moses,
have shown a correlation
Moses,
between, yeah, a
we
correlation.
got
Yeah,
about 7 minutes. We're gonna leave at 8:40.
yeah,
If we
sure.
can,
Yeah, quickly, I just wanted to
yeah.
throw this
Oh,
in that
you want to make
there
that? You
is.
want to make that your closing comment?
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, okay. Take a
I'm not
call.
taking
Yeah,
a
take
call.
a call.
No, I'm not taking a call now. So that's what I'm saying. We're done with the caller. So can you make that
Okay.
your closing comment?
Yeah, I can make this. Yeah. Quickly, I want to say that there's a correlation between substance use and crime. When people are craving substance use, or when they are craving to either use drink, I mean, to either use cocaine or heroin, they would do anything they can to get it drugs. That's why the women will prostitute, the men will engage into criminal activities to make that money because of the strong desire, which they call craving. Unless the person gets that substance in the body, because the dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter that conveys messages between the brain and the nerves, the desire of having that feeling in there, until the person accomplishes that, that person is willing to do anything for Canada. So it is important that our government give this current situation in Liberia a serious attention. Like the senator said, this will be another problem for future leaders. So now is the time to tackle this problem. And lastly, I would say that the senator spoke well. He was very honest about what he did in the past, and his admission that, hey, look, I lied to my people, and I think it is important that I acknowledge that I said something wrong, and he own up to what he did. And that is something that we cannot in our country. Most of our political leaders don't do that. They will lie to you brazenly, and they will continue to lie. Don't want to admit that, look, no human being is a perfectionist. When you are in error, you must admit that you are in error and move on. And I think that's what the senator did tonight. Another thing the senator spoke about that really touched my heart, the treatment of that lady today at the national legislature. I mean, come on now, Volcano.
And
The
did you
lady
see it?
said,
I saw a segment of the video where I don't know if the lawmakers, supporters, they were like talking to the woman. Why you
oh,
hiding your
yeah,
face
yeah,
for?
yeah, trying to put her down. Yeah, people will
What?
be raping the
Okay,
woman.
I
Yeah,
so
yeah,
intolerant.
that's how our society is. Some of our people are so heartless. You know, this lady was driving. The lawmaker reportedly ran into her vehicle and he
Hmm.
drove off. That's a crime by itself. She went to the House of Representatives, to the seat of the national legislature. She was what, bundled and taken to what, prison. Later, she could not be held. They brought her back to the Capitol and they took her to the joint chamber of the House of Representatives. Now, Senator Dillon comes and say, hey, What happened today equates to what he called legislative tyranny. Liberia cannot be a country of men, Volcano. And that's what we saw today. Our people need to change for the better. It is a shame that people who make the law, they themselves don't even know the laws. It's a
But
shame.
but what law they making?
I mean, it tells you that a lot of people they had no clue what they are doing in the legislature. It's a
Yeah.
shame. It's a
Thank you.
shame.
Thank you,
Yes.
Moses. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
What wrong with the people then? Oh, they put in for us on the end. They gonna take our
What?
team song and can do Babati way.
Oh,
Yo, no man. Yeah, be talking Moses. Sorry, my man.
yeah. Yeah. So, as I was saying,
Okay.
that
Here we
you
go.
will have a speaker
Mm-hmm.
of the House of Representatives who himself does not even know the laws. He does not even know the function, what the breaches are, what is contempt, you know. And Senator Dillon just educated him
Mm-hmm.
tonight. Like, hey, man, you guys were in the wrong.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you so much for being a part of the Issues Room tonight. Another wonderful conversation with Montserrado County Senator Darius Dillon, who was here in studio with us. We cover a wide spectrum of things. We looked at the governance, the economy, uh, health and education. We also talked about his rehab work in the country. He addressed the issue today with a lawmaker and a private citizen. It was just a whole lot of stuff. Love him or hate him, Senator Dillon, dubbed as the light, and we didn't come very nice, or quiet on him. We asked him some very pertinent questions regarding his own, role in the Senate, and what is the Senate doing collectively to organize against some of the things that happen in the society. We talked about the ritualistic killings in the country, and many things we covered. So again, we want to say thank you to all of you wonderful people for joining us. We had a lot of new folks here tonight. We're gaining some kind of traction here in social media. And again, presentability, professionalism, civility, those are the ingredients that make a platform. When you come here, you got to be responsible because you don't know. This thing is a global phenomenon. You're broadcasting to the world. You're broadcasting even to space because the internet is that powerful. So some of you who come on the show, we don't encourage you to be profane. You can disagree, but you don't have to use the curse words or anything. There's always that need to disagree, and I understand. And even tonight, when I said the countryman name, I was chastised by one of the viewers, and I corrected myself and I said, I'm sorry, I'm a countryman, but that doesn't mean that I can be apologetic or I'm bigger than anything. No, I'm not that character. So again, I want to encourage you, our viewers, to share the link, encourage many people to come on, because again, when we bring our studio guests here, we want to be tough with them, but we also want to be respectful, because when a person gives his time to you, you also got to be respectful and responsible with that person, and especially a government official. He doesn't have to come here. He doesn't owe it to us. He owes it to the Liberian people, and that's the reason why he made his way here. We want to also encourage the folks from the other side, the CDC government. There's a lot of people we want to talk to in the CDC. So if some of you who are fanatic of CDC, if you can make us get in touch with those people and they're willing to come here and have the conversation with us, I would be honest and grateful for that opportunity. It's the same treatment we gave to Ambassador Boyka when he was here. The same treatment we gave to PLP presidential aspirant Dr. Daniel Cassell. The same treatment we gave to Darius Dillon tonight. We want to give it to anyone, even President Weah. I would love for President Weah to come here and have a conversation with us here in the issues room. I look forward to it. President Weah, you got to avail yourself. Come next year. The conversation has to happen. We got to have you here in the issues room. Don't let nobody say anything to you. You my man. Come in the issues room. Let's have that conversation. Let's see your plans for 2023. We really want to have a conversation with you, your officials of government. Thomas Falai. We want to talk to Nathaniel McGee. We want to talk to Samuel Toy. We open. Come in. Minister Ledger Hood Rennie. Maritime Commissioner and Boss. Eugene Nangbe. We want to talk to many of you folks. So many things happening. So there's a lot to talk about. And Liberia is not shy of anything as important as it is. So we say, Edward Pay, thanks for coming in. Vonnie K. Sherman, Josepha Shad Thomas, Smith Dewia, welcome. Vaho Mendy Man, Loretta Brown. We say thanks for coming. Emmanuel Jackson, all the way from Massachusetts. Lasana Kamara, thank you for coming in tonight. We encourage you guys to continue to share the link. Invite a friend, Helen Brown. Thanks for coming in. Adolphus Hoggart, thank you so much. I understand, my man. Let's trash it. Lawrence Power, we say welcome to the show. Thomas Awaji, the legendary and astute. I say the astute, and I say astute, committed, and a wonderful fan of the show. Samuel Kalamu, thank you so much for coming in. Wanning Wallace, Emma Taylor, thanks for coming in. Thomas Harvey, Peter Kendemine, good evening and welcome to the show. We say thank you, Tony and Brooks. Thank you. Joe Dawala Hutchison, thank you for coming in. Oragawe. Masaji Moala, thank you. Thank you. Francis Taki, thank you. Thank you. River says bro, another big time supporter. Melvin Diggs, Melvin P. Diggs, thank you so much for coming in. Francis Taki, Toba Houston, Francis David, Namiento Nino Brown, thanks for coming. Orlando Giddens, Othello Kai, thank you for coming. Data Charlie MSP, thank you. Momo Nelson, Patrick Johnson, Weirdo, Lamin Tai, Francis Taki, all you wonderful people, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Michael Doon, thank you, my man, my brother, my friend, my groomsman. Thank you for coming. It was just good having many of you in the house tonight. Samuel Gokai, Hollywood, Mercury Tisdale. Oh man, it was just so many wonderful people. Jake Mazo Payson, thank you for making the issues room your platform. Don't forget, come back here Friday. It's gonna be serious stuff. We're gonna have another very, very important conversation. Adama Sharif, we say thank you. People wonder, how do I get through all of these names? Well, listen, when you spend your time with us, we have to acknowledge what you've done and your commitment to being there with us. Henry Shapolu, thank you. Justina Harris Bestman, thank you. Samuel Abu, thank you, my man. Thank you for coming in. It's a pleasure having Suleiman Fofana also in the house. You guys are doing extremely well to hang out here with us tonight. I say thank you, Robert Bayoga. Thank you. Oh man, so many folks here to thank tonight. I see Jetta Peters, thank you. Zogar David or Zongar David. In fact, it's Zangar David. You know, these prints can be so small, so sometimes the glasses don't work well, but we'll try to do our best. I hear to chop anybody named Seattle Townsend. Thank you, Seattle. You said you will do something to support the Darius Dillon rehab program. We'll encourage you to do so. Sam Pade, man, just so many wonderful people. Wani Wallace, Gosh, D. Wilson, my man, he's always there. Thank you, Zangar, David Hawasoni, and Justina Harry Bestman. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. My name is Volcano Shelton. Again, as I said, we'll be back here on Friday with another palpable, intriguing conversation. This one is a serious problem in our country, and we have to discuss it. We're hoping that we'll be able to get somebody uh, in Monrovia, but we'll do our best. Again, thank you. The issues room will be back here Friday, 7 p.m. We had a time change today because Senator Dillon uh, couldn't do the midnight. Then it means he wouldn't have gone to bed till 3 this morning, and they're in session, so he has to go back to work. But we'll try to do Liberians when we bring in, notable Liberian guests. The intent now is to bring them on the weekend, like Saturday and Sunday, at 2 p.m. American time, which would be like 7 in Liberia, so that we can have, much more time with the person. But thank you guys so much for being there with us tonight. We'll be back here Friday. I remember the one that says Zoba. That the para can say Zoba.